Good evening and a very warm welcome to Fools Rush In's Walsall Watchalong. We are here for the next few hours to join you, basically, and thank you for spending time with us. We'll all watch the game together, pass comment on what we're seeing, and hopefully celebrate 3 midweek points together. We have a panel of people joining us throughout the evening, including, all things going well, a couple of Swindon Town fans live from the ground. Before we say hello to the first half of tonight's panel, let's roll the titles.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with
And first tonight, we say hello and good evening to the man who will be commentating his way through the first half of the action, the brains behind this particular operation. A very good evening to Craig. How are you, pal?
Yeah, evening, Fyfie. Yeah, a little bit nervous. Commentating is harder than what it looks. So hopefully I'll be a less shit version of Sam Matterface for the first half, with any luck.
I have every faith in you, sir. We've obviously done one of these before. We all enjoyed it. We got some positive feedback. We got some very constructive criticism, which we've taken on board. How hopeful are you that we'll put on something that resembles a show worth watching for anyone who dares join us this evening?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like the last one, people did enjoy it, but obviously there were issues that we had with the time zone differences, but yeah, we've looked at it because I mean, like the last one we did, it was sort of thrown together at the last minute, wasn't it? And
this one isn't.
Well, yeah, but we were kind of learning as we went along last time, and we didn't realise what problems we would have until they came up. But yeah, this time we're fairly well organised, and hopefully it will all go well, and hopefully we'll have no Wi-Fi problems for Rich and John at the ground, and hopefully it'll all go nicely. But if it doesn't, we can just have a good old rant at the end like we normally do.
Yeah. Well, some of the comments we had since we announced this was, looking forward to the end if it doesn't go to plans. I think people just like to hear us argue. Let's welcome the second of tonight's panel. He is working on Score Centre and will be keeping us up to date with everything else going on in the division as best as he can. He was sorely missed last night. The fans were baying for us to get him back on, and here he is. A very good evening to Nick.
Hello, Fyfie. What an introduction, man. Come on.
How are you, pal?
I listened to the show walking the dog today, and I thought it was class. Absolutely loved it. So well done to everybody.
Thank you very much. Did you enjoy your evening off?
I did. Yeah, I was a bit knacked, and I think things catch up with you. So I thought, yeah, I'll take a break. I've probably done more shows than most over the last few weeks, so it's probably time I give it a rest. But looking forward to tonight. Got the score centre already. Got a few stats kicking about. So all being well, it'll fit in seamlessly.
Lovely. Good evening to Stephen, who said hopefully this game goes better than last time's last-minute goal. If we lose, I might need to drive to Fairfoot from Lynham just to get a Spikes burger to cheer me up. We've also got Mike. Good evening, Mike. Hope you're well. I'm watching you lot, but not watching the football. Wonder how that will work. And your namesake is here as well. Good evening, guys. Got a lot to live up to, especially the after-game show. Can't watch it with you, as here in Delaware, we are a couple of mins behind you, but we'll come back on at halftime and after the game show. Everyone is welcome. The live chat will be available throughout the evening. If you want to talk about what's going on in the game, if you want to just chat nonsense to us, everything is available. I'll tell you something that we weren't expecting, and it was a guest appearance within 6 minutes of the show starting. Someone who was not scheduled to appear, but we're delighted to say good evening to Woody. I thought you were at training today, sir.
I am. I thought I'd just pop on to say good luck before I shoot off in probably about 20 minutes. So I thought I'll come in and see the pre-match garbage that we're probably all going to talk.
Pre-match garbage indeed. I mean, we only obviously spoke last night. You were, should we say, a little bit sweary last night, which was out of character for you. Are you feeling a bit better today?
I do apologise to all of our millions of fans because I actually had to listen it. I don't often listen it back that much, but I had to listen back because I thought when I hung up, I went, Jesus, I swore a lot. Well, so I had to listen back to it.
Fyfie, I hope you get the comments in. Last time I did about 3 swear words, I got stick for it. So, Woody, I don't know what you're going to get.
Well, I don't know, because you were only listening to it back, Nick. There was at one point that Lady Joe put a swear word in the comments and then put, sorry, Nick, for swearing.
Oh, I should think so. Lady Joe, come on. You're much better than that.
Steve's back on. Woody called it a bomb threat to cancel training. At least they've given you plenty to talk about with that lineup. Well, indeed. And we have that synced up. So, Woody, as you'll be disappearing quickest, let's start with you very briefly, as we have another full waiting in the wings to come on. The big news is Austin on the bench.
Yeah, I think it's big news, but the more I think about it, the more am I actually thinking, am I surprised? You know, it's kind of, he has had quite a lot of games in a row now. You know, obviously we have our opinions on the likes of Jeff Cott, etc., but maybe this tonight is an opportunity where he's got an opportunity to rest Austin's legs and hopefully give the chance to Jeff Cott and even Shea to a certain extent, you know, the chance to maybe prove themselves and get them a space. I mean, you know, as I said last night, hopefully there might be a bit of realization that Austin's not going to save our season, so we're going to have to rest him every now and then. There's a lot more surprises than that, I think, to be honest. I think there's more, in my opinion, more inclusions that have surprised me rather than Austin sitting out, because I think Austin is probably just a rest of legs type thing.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the other inclusions that have surprised you a little bit?
Can you flash it up again? I think
can.
Darcy, I was quite surprised at. You know, and the fact that Kane and Kadji are missing out. I know Kadji didn't start at the weekend, but, you know, Minturn again. I know I get the need for experience, but I think the lads will agree with me in terms of consistency the last couple of games. Minton's been one of our best defenders. So I am a bit surprised to see him on the bench. Again, maybe it's a rest in his legs type thing. obviously the lads who are there will be able to tell us through the warm-up, etc. But I think when you look at that list, you go, what could the formation be that's not going to have a heavy impact? You know, we've put arguably 2 holding midfielders on the bench. And in terms of naturally, minus potentially Clayton, who I don't think will be there today, there's not really a holding midfielder in there. So it's I'm more like, well, what could the lineup be? But then, you know, that could be a Jody Morris mind game for all we know. It could be a get because the opposition will probably be sat there going, what is he doing? So,
well, but the thing is, we've all said about adaptability of play, whether that's in game or not. So if we're able to put a team out that perhaps they weren't expecting, as long as the squad itself is comfortable in whatever formation we do decide to play, that can only be a good thing on our part and an advantage for us, surely.
Oh, 100%. And as I said in the chat, there's a lot of fringe, really, there's quite a lot of fringe players, or we would consider fringe in there. So, you know, hopefully it has a flip reverse and, you know, has a really positive effect. Those players will go out and prove themselves. Wakelin included into that, I guess, really, because he's not played the last couple of games. That all started the last couple of games. And, yeah, so I think, you know, maybe it's an opportunity for the likes of Jeff Gott. I mean, obviously Lavigne's just coming back, but he'll want to prove why he might be that left-sided player over the natural left-sided players when they come back. And you know, I can't remember who the other midfielders were, but and Darcy. I mean, Darcy for me has been personally one of the disappointments of the season. So you know, this is his opportunity, in my opinion.
Walsall are there for the taking 100%, says Lee. It has to be said, Liam is watching in on this tonight just because he knows the potential of what could be happening. So he is keeping one eye on what is going on at Walsall versus Swindon Town as well. Not only for the potential of what could happen, but also he's dearly beloved, is a big fan of what we do following Salford up and down the country. So I'm sure she's looking forward to an evening with Fools as well. I can see our fifth member is ready to join. Good evening, Ben. Finished adjusting your camera?
Yeah, no, I've finished prattling about because I'm trying to get this quite right. Sarah came up with the idea saying, why don't you try and get it a bit like Gogglebox, where like you and Jack are watching TV. Jack's upstairs playing with his mate at the minute on Xbox. So I've got the TV set up with the old game on, and I've got Sarah's like iPad thing working on here.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's all good. So Jack will be down later.
Good, because everyone's a big fan of your
She'll be cheering on Walsall. They roll us over 3-0, so we can see us all melt down at each other. Everyone's looking forward to you and Jack at half-time and full-time doing the VAR and the live instant replays of stuff. So that's something to look forward to. I'm not sure if you've got two devices on there, Ben, but we've got feedback coming through all of a sudden. Have you? You shouldn't do. It's only one device. Oh. Definitely is coming through at the moment. Playing anything. Nick, let me bring you in briefly and talk matters away from the game just momentarily, if I can. As we said, you weren't on last night, so you didn't get to do the review of the hospitality day. We did show this picture off, and it's only right that we give you a minute or two just to say what that moment meant to you on Saturday.
Well, I said it on our WhatsApp group, man. I mean, that's made my 2023, 24, 25. Oh, and you couldn't have done anything better for myself. You all know what 69 means to me from being there and watching a great man score those 2 goals. You know, it all comes together. I'm 69 years old. And to have my hero shake my hand and give me a shirt, man, it doesn't get better than that. I mean, it was such a surprise, and you know, I was sat down at the table and I think I sort of slightly caught him saying Nick, and I sort of ignored it. And Wazza said something to me, And then he said, "Table 10, Nick." Oh, yeah, what's going on here?
Oh, Nick's connection just dropped out for a
I'll
second.
buzz on that for the rest
There
of the
we go.
season and more. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And I can't thank people enough for doing that.
Mate, it is the absolute least we could do. Mike says, did Nick have lamb too?
Oh man, 100%. If you go out for a roast, and the thing I look for is roast lamb. Nobody does roast lamb anymore. And when it was lamb shanks, lamb shanks and spotted dick and custard, mate, it don't get much better than that. And it was damn good as well. It was spot on.
So, Craig, I need you to explain this one to me, because I saw a comment about this yesterday as well. Steve said, listen to yesterday's pod this morning. Whose fire alarm needed new batteries? I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any beeping.
I did. Mike Dixon messaged me and goes, "Is that your fire alarm? Is that your smoke alarm?"
I heard something, but there isn't a smoke, because there isn't a smoke alarm in my kitchen. Smoke alarm's just through the dining room out here. So unless it was that one, but I don't know where that came from, to be honest.
Right, let's get back to the matter at hand then. So, Craig, you've seen the team. Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, a big surprise, really, to be honest. Like Woody was saying, I think it was only a matter of time that Austin was going to need to be rested. He did look tired on Saturday, I think, and that's because he's doing what he really isn't best at, and that's dropping deep, as we discussed yesterday, and just trying to do everything, but he can't. He can't do that, not even at this level anymore. So I guess it wasn't too much of a surprise. To drop Minton is really disappointing, to be honest. I don't know what more he could have done to stay in the team. That suggests to me a change of formation. But I'd have, Brewitt was did well on Saturday, but I no more than Minton, and we're supposed to be developing our own players and everything. So I think, what sort of message does that send out? But it's a very, very bold lineup from Morris. I'll give him that, starting Darcy and Shade. I mean, you could argue, as I said yesterday, Shade was our most effective player going forwards on Saturday. So, you could argue that he does deserve to start, but also he is a bit more of an impact player coming off the bench. So yeah, you could see both sides of it. So it'll be interesting to see what actual formation comes up. I think we're going to play like a 4-3, a version of a 4-3-3 with McEachran, Williams and Darcy as the midfield three, with McEachran as the pivot, and Wakeling, Jeffcott and Shade up front as a three. That's the way I can see it going. But so it'd be interesting, and it'll definitely would have screwed up Walsall's plan, because I bet they weren't expecting this lineup.
No, 100%. I think that's Woody waving goodbye. He needs to head to training, I think. Goodbye to the Oracle, the self-proclaimed Oracle.
Yeah, go well, lads. See you then.
Take care, mate.
As Woody says goodbye. Nice new framing there, says Mike. Thank you. Yes, we've worked on a few little bits and pieces, and we can't thank again our friend Liam at Lower League Look, who's a big influence on some of the stuff we do off camera. There'll be plenty more of that throughout. We have got Rich and John on their way to Walsall. They've both been sent the link, so hopefully, I'd like to think they were there now, but they will be joining as soon as they possibly can. Nick, let me come to you next then. Again, referring to the team lineup tonight. After what you saw on Saturday, are you as surprised as everyone else to see changes, or is it just who's been changed?
Well, my team prediction certainly wasn't this, but if you look at it, it isn't a great surprise. And I take on board what Craig said about Minton, but Brewitt looks like he's got a bit more bite, a bit more steel, a bit more devilment to him, and he's got that bit of a nasty streak in there, which we need. Clayton, forgetting about him starting the thing off that cost us the goal, is a class player, and I think he's proved himself all season, and he is going to have the odd bad game and the odd few bad minutes. So I think with that lineup, to me, it's got to be a back four, which I don't like the back five that much. I don't think any of us do. So with a back four, we should be more attacking. People have been calling saying, why isn't Darcy getting a chance? Well, here's his chance now. And as everybody said, and I know he's not been the pod's favourite player, but Shade probably deserves a start. What have I said all season? Shade shoots, Shade scores. So that's why he's there. Jepcott, probably as the lads have said, Austin needs a rest. He has looked stale the last couple of games. Jody Morris makes some good shouts, so he's not going on reputation. The only one that's a surprise to me, and when I put my lineup in, I had him on the bench, was Williams actually, because I don't think he's been pulling trees up over the last few weeks. But taking the captain's armband, maybe that'll give him the boost that he needs. And I'm quite excited by the side, to be honest. So I'm hoping it's going to be a more attacking lineup, and with that bit of steel in the back, with Brewitt hopefully commanding it.
No, 100%. Ben, let's have a look at some of the specifics, if we can. We've got some of the stats prepared, starting with the goal scorers and the danger men for Walsall.
Yeah, well, their main goal scorer, the guy that's been banging him in all season, is not playing. And since he's left, they've obviously had a big dip in form. It's equivalent of us losing Doyle and not having him come back, really. And I think they brought in the two guys that took Forest Green up, and they've not pulled any trees up at all. So I think they're lacking a little bit in the goals front. I think defensively they still look quite solid and quite sound, and that's why they seem to be getting a lot of draws, because they're just not scoring the goals they used to be, because they're missing Johnson. For them, their season really is done. Ours is pretty much at death's door. Theirs is done. So they've got nothing to play for. That might make them more dangerous. It might make them a lot easier. We'll find out this evening. They're on one hell of a bit of a bad run at the moment. So I think if we can nick the first goal, I think we can get on top of the game. But I think it's now shit or bust. I think we just got to go for it, really. I think this next week we've got to take 6 points. And I think we've gone for a team he's gone for form players rather than reputations, which I'm not too bad about. Shade deserves his start. Unlucky for Minturn, but every now and then in these youth players, you've just got to give him a little sit out. He's going to be playing a lot over these next 12 games. I'm actually all right with it. I think Jeffcott needs a start, and I hope he gets a goal, because one, it gives Austin a kick up the backside that he's got to get his finger out, and for the lad himself, because he's a player in him, but he's found it tough this season. He's found it a lot tougher than we thought, and he works hard, but it's just not worked for him. So I'm hoping he gets one today.
And Ben, for yourself, aside from obviously replays and VAR decisions, you're on co-commentary duties today, or colour commentary duties. You're looking forward to that task?
Buzzing, can't wait. Yeah, do a bit of co-coms, I talk shit for a living, so I'll be all right chatting about the game. So so co-coms, am I like the
the Anthony Grant of this particular production?
I'm the Anthony Grant. I'll sit there going, yeah, it's a lovely, that's a great tackle, baby.
That was uncanny, Ben, that was.
Well, thank you. We'll be back with you shortly, Ben, but we have our fifth panellist ready to go as we welcome back to Fools. First time in a little while. Evening, Mark.
Good evening, Stephen. How you doing?
Very well, thank you, pal. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Can you hear us all okay?
We can hear you fine. I'd like to start off with the big question that everyone watching will want to know. Are you going to be watching from somewhere that is not 15 minutes behind this time?
Well, as I'm in Colombia this evening, I'm at the mercy of the gods.
Excellent. You are scheduled to be doing commentary on the second half. we will check how the time difference is and adjust accordingly if needed. I can see you're not alone this evening.
No, I have this little one here with me as well. Say hello, Oscar.
Hi.
How are you, Oscar? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Oscar, how do you think Swindon are going to do tonight?
Not, if I'm being honest, not well. I mean, we've not got the best record against Walsall. For about a combined total of 2 defenders in the squad, I think we might be in for a treat.
You're not related to Craig, are you? Ben's had enough, says Leo. Look, so we were just flashing some stats, Mark. I'll invite Ben back in just a second.
Okay.
But I wanted to bring the next one to your attention. It's just a look at the recent form of both sides. I'm not sure how big that graphic is on your screen. If you can see Walsall's current form.
Look, I mean, to be honest with you, I think the form stats go out the window a little bit, particularly where we're concerned. We just struggle to seem to keep defenders fit, and then we're having to reshuffle and, rework the side. I mean, obviously, the Carlisle game, there were signs of improvement with our play, but ultimately, it's no different to how it's been over the last, 6-7 months or so. I don't know whether we're in for a Jekyll or Hyde Swindon performance this evening, because when we can turn it on, we know that we're up there and we can beat the likes of Mansfield and we can beat the likes of Grimsby and look good doing it. Or are we going to end up, with one of those egg on face type performances? I don't think so. I mean, I think Ben's a little bit glib in saying that Walsall have got nothing to play for. They've as much chance of making the playoffs as we have, as it currently stands. It's still mathematically possible for them, as it is for us. And I don't think either side will be settling for a point. 3 is what's at stake, and both sides will be looking for that win to end what is essentially a poor run of form. I mean, regardless of the 3-game unbeaten spell, we've still not really looked that convincing. And against Carlisle, well, suicidal errors like that at the end of a game are going to cost you, and we've got to make sure we're better than that today.
No, 100% understand that one as well. And what have you made of Swindon's recent form? I just had that up on the screen.
Well, to be honest with you, the results improved after the first 3 defeats. The game against Carlisle, that really, like all of our games now, are must-win matches. With our little predictions that we did prior to the game, it was one of the games that I thought we probably wouldn't get anything from. But in hindsight, we should have come away with a point. We've done enough to have secured that, and really should have seen the game out to do it. And to lose it so pitifully is probably the story of our season. When we've looked like we've turned a corner, we seem to stumble and take the 3 steps back, which unfortunately, in the words of Liam, is what makes us a mid-team this season.
No, 100%. And just seeing the iFollow screens ticking around, it has us shaping up, as Nick was suggesting, 4-3-3. Do you like the sound of it as a 4-3-3, Mark?
I think it's our best formation. It's the one that to be honest with you, the one that we're most comfortable with. Although, over the last few weeks, we've played with the 5-3-2, and that seems to be where Jody Morris would like us to go. But I think he quite rightly pointed out it is very much dependent on the personnel that we have available. I think there are a few surprises this evening. I'm not surprised that Austin's been dropped to the bench. The last 3 matches he's been fairly anonymous, if I'm honest. Hepburn Murphy being on the bench is an interesting one. But more importantly, I thought that maybe Minton was our best player at the weekend, and you could argue that he should be starting. So if he's not, then maybe that's a defensive precaution, because really, if we're playing 2 at the back and one of those goes, is that really a risk that we want to take? And maybe we're going to play with the back 3. I think what you pointed out earlier on, that we may actually be playing a 3-5-2 with maybe Clayton in the centre. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'm happy with 4-3-3. I think we know what we're going to get, and we know how we're going to play that way. But equally, if we go 3-5-2, I don't know. I've never been convinced with that formation. It's going to take more than a couple of half decent performances using it to convince me that it's the most effective way forward. But who knows? I mean, the lads have got to be up for it, and anything is possible. Anything is definitely possible. I'm going to try and be positive. It can't be any worse than the last time we were there, Fyfie.
No, quite. This one, I don't know if you've seen it while you were talking there. This one aimed at you from Liam. Swindon will feel at home tonight with the game being midweek. Mark will love that, says Liam.
I do love that, Liam. I mean, I'm also looking forward to it as much as I'm looking forward to seeing both Bradford and Salford choking in the playoffs. But we'll come to that at a later date.
Gentlemen, we have a guest waiting in the wings to join us live from Walsall. Good evening, John.
Hello.
How are you, pal?
John.
Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Is Rich not been on?
No, not seen Rich yet, so I'm just going to put you on full screen.
Sorry, I just got whacked by a ball.
So it looks pretty cold there, John.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly, mate. Yeah, chillier than I thought it'd be.
We've just been talking about the team, and it looks like Swindon are lining up 4-3-3. What did you make of it when you saw the lineup?
Well, he's obviously gambled. I was quite surprised that he put Darcy in and obviously Jeff got. But I thought Shea deserved a chance tonight. I thought he came come on Saturday and did a good job when he came on, running at them.
And how confident are you?
Well, it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it, making these changes? But he's obviously seen something in Shade at the weekend. I'm happy, obviously, Lavinia's back in. I'm hoping we can go in at half-time, 1-0 up.
And we've had a question through from Mike for you, John. He said, John, are you still there? It looks like the Midlands internet reception has let him down. We will get, if John's able to reconnect. Oh, John, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Mike asks, did Garv get a ticket?
Yes, he did. I went and got, basically, there's a big queue for the car park, so I jumped out and went and got the ticket.
Good lad. And just as the fans start to filter in, just show us the away fans start to come in, John. Lovely stuff. Hope everyone's safe travels. And they're going to
young Louis with me.
Hi, Louis. You all right?
Yeah. And my daughter Eva.
Hi, Eva. How are you?
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah. So I'll try and speak to you at half-time, but it's always a nightmare trying to connect in football grounds.
No, that's absolutely fine, mate. If nothing else, we'll catch you at full
get
time.
Back to you at full time. Yeah, no problem.
Excellent. John, do us a favour. Do us a favour just before you go. Be very loud tonight and bring home the points, mate. Yeah.
Oh, and also happy birthday to Nick. I missed it at the weekend.
Oh, there you go, Nick.
See you later.
Thank you, John. Enjoy, mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Lovely to have John join us there. Thank you very much for that. And I can see this has now put me on solo layout, so we'll just stop that one. A nice little shout out for you there, Nick.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. So it's everything's positive.
Absolutely. And Ben is back as well, ready to take up co-commentary duties. Just a reminder, I know most people watching this will be very familiar with how Full's set up, but live chat is available via YouTube and Facebook. That will be able to bring the comments up on the screen. It's available all night and we will be flashing them up. You can also tweet us, and I have a separate screen just over here where I can read those out to the panel. As we say hello to one of our dear friends, Gav, who says, "Evening, gents, wise men sing." Just on that, Craig, that was a little, I don't know how you felt. When we've been to games, we were at Bradford, for example, together, and Nick, we said the same at Mansfield, as well as some other games that we've been to. When chanting Fools Rush In, it really hits home. But on Saturday, we walked out on the pitch as that song came on, and it really did actually hit me there, Craig.
Yeah, it's a bit surreal, really, wasn't it? And also seeing our Fools Rush In on the scoreboard there.
Yeah.
It was just, it just shows how far we've come without trying to sound big time. But but yeah, it's it's just great, and I think we, because obviously for a while we were just STFC fan chat, and we had a bit of a sort of identity crisis because we were just known as that fan group on YouTube, pretty much, weren't we? So when we decided to come together with a name, I think we chose chose well, mate. So and it's sort of stuck with us, and people know us by that. So
well, do you know what? When we said we were going to be Wise Men Say, I think we got very fortunate that we found out there was another podcast by that name, because I think Fools Rush In certainly suits us better.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we refer to ourselves as fools all the time, which is great. So yeah, love it, mate, love it.
Absolutely. We are 10 minutes. Fyfie also sings what? Fyfie also sings that one slightly louder, says Gav. Yeah, I get a bit emotional. Everything I do is loud anyway. I don't do things quietly. Even celebrating, Nick, it can get a bit loud, can't it?
Yeah, the ribs take a bashing, that's for sure. Fyfie, because obviously I wasn't on last night, but I listened to the programme today. And just to add my threepence worth, that shows my age, on the what we need to do. And I think Morris is obviously he's gone, to coin a phrase, shit or bust. This is a must win. It's not a term I usually use, and we need to take 10 points from the next 4 games at least. And if we do that, we're still in with a shout. If we don't do that, I'll hold my hands up and say we're going to finish outside the top 7. So I think it's a brave choice from him. It looks a very attacking choice. He knows, he knows what he's doing. When we spoke to him Saturday, you can tell he's switched on. He's no mug. So yeah, it is to a large degree a make or break game. So from that basis, I'm not actually, because of the setup I've got, I won't actually be watching the game. I'll just be listening to you guys commentating. And then if you drop me out and just bring me in when you want a score update, and it should work well.
It's all right, mate, because we've got our graphics set up for you to be there anyway, so it's absolutely fine.
Okay,
while you are talking, we are one of 5 games tonight. Just flash the league table up on the screen there. Obviously, our game is the one we're focused on. But what else has caught your eye from the other fixtures this evening?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously lots of interesting fittings in there. Northampton Mansfield obviously stands out. That's the key one, and I don't know what the best result would be for us, to be honest. But apart from being boring, saying they both dropped 2 points, and obviously Stevenage, well, they desperately need a win to keep in that top 3. Sutton Grimsby, that's probably not such much to worry about, and then Newport Wimbledon, and I think sorry, can you flash that back up where Wimbledon are?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem at all.
Because we've got to go to Wimbledon. Actually, they're further behind than I thought. So that one shouldn't really bother us. Yeah, it's Northampton, Mansfield, and the Stevenage Crew games are probably the ones we'll keep an eye on more than anything else.
Okay, gents. I know, obviously, Craig, Ben, you were on last night, but now that we've seen the teams, it might have altered things, and match day always alters people thinking as well. I've just put a message out in the chat to ask the viewers for their predictions, but let's have yours. Let's start, if I can. Let's go in the bottom corner as I'm looking. Mark, 2 predictions from your household, please.
I'm going to go for 1 each.
1 each?
2-1 Swindon.
2-1 Swindon, love it. Ben?
3-1 the mighty Swin.
3-1 to the Swin, love it. Nick?
Repeat of last season, 3-0. Absolutely smash them.
And Craig?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1 each as well. I predict last night. I predicted 0-0, and then I forgot we were doing this, so it would be a bit boring if it was 0-0 today. So I'm hoping at least for a 1 each, and hope, and with any luck, a Swindon win.
I will obviously flash up people's predictions as they send them through. So just a run through again of how we're hoping this is going to work. Craig is going to do commentary of the first half, Mark of the second half, with Ben offering co-com duties during both halves. Nick is working in the score centre to let us know what is going on throughout the rest of the division. And I'm here with the occasional swear word and asking Jeff Cobb what the actual if he misses a sitter. That is the plan.
Should I really be doing co-coms?
Sorry, mate?
If I'm echoing, should I be doing co-coms if you're hearing two of me?
As long as we keep you muted, except for when you're talking, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine, mate. Yeah.
Okay.
So you come in, make your point, and then mute yourself again.
Don't worry about it. I'll keep you in, because like there's going to be times when I'm not going to know what to say, so I'll just bring you in then.
Plus, you need to make sure Jack's ready to do solo layout VAR replays for us if there's anything controversial happen. We are. Sorry?
He'll be telling me to do one, I think.
Jack loves appearing on Fools. It's all about improving that. It's all about improving that social media presence for him at that age. Liam first in 1-1, but it should be 2 or 3 to Swindon. And then we've got Steve is in that 3-0 from last season. Feels so long ago now. And then Liam suggesting Ben shouldn't speak. He should just do interpretive dance. Sean going 1-0 Walsall. He hopes he is wrong, of course. We are about 5 minutes from kickoff now. Big game this. Swindon Town be playing in white, Walsall obviously in their red. Let's talk about away days in general. Obviously, football fans up and down the country, they love supporting their team, but nothing quite beats an away day, does it, Nick? Especially under the lights.
Oh, just away days are phenomenal. I mean, especially with Swindon's away following, we've got did I see it, over 1,000 there tonight?
Yeah, it's just about 1,000 or so are up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the weather's been like going across there, but it was absolutely hammering down here. So I'm assuming it's the same there. The weather's not going to be great.
It was pissing it down in the East Midlands first thing this morning.
Yeah,
it's been a bit brighter in the afternoon, but we still had spots. Oh, that does make me remember. We're obviously started earlier than our normal show. I know you all know this, but there is almost certainly going to be some adult theme and adult language throughout this episode, just to remind people at 20 to 8 to expect the odd duck and other such like words.
Yeah, well, there's just no. Yeah, Fyfie. I was just gonna say, there's no excuse for it, Fyfie. You know.
Gav saying, as you'd expect, you can hear the town fans in great voice. And Craig, that's a recurring theme. We've discussed it times. We're Swindon fans, superb away from home, and it's how we replicate that at home. But away, we can never be faulted for noise, can we?
Oh no, absolutely. I think we've been that way for a long time now. The last few years, I think we've even even before COVID, with in the Richie Wellens promotion season, I went to a couple of away games that season, Cheltenham and Leyton Orient, and those were two of the best atmospheres I've had away from home. Leyton Orient's always good away, and so is Walsall, and it helps when they're relatively local as well. That does make a big bloody difference, and that's another reason why I think a lot of fans want to get out of this league, because have a few more away trips that are a bit more bearable. But fair play to our fans when they go away, because they go in numbers up and down the country, and that's one hell of an effort, especially when you've got a team that is not doing as well as what you'd have hoped for this season. So,
and one quick question for everyone as the players come out onto the pitch. PJ asks, regardless if we win, lose or draw, do you still feel a playoff push is on, or is it too far gone? For me, I'll go first on this one. I'm very much in the camp as long as something is mathematically possible, it can happen. It looks a big ask for me, but while it's possible, I'll believe it can happen. Craig?
I mean, it's possible. Of course, it's possible, but I'd say it's improbable. I think it's too late for us now. I'd love to be proved wrong. I know people recall Bristol Rovers last season and obviously ourselves getting into the playoffs, but Bristol Rovers had a good recruitment in the January transfer window last season, and so did we, to be fair. And the team, as I said yesterday, was 10 times better than the one we've got this season. I mean, obviously, we don't want to get bogged down in the whole recruitment thing. We've done that time and time again, and I'm sure we'll discuss that more in length. But yeah, we in short, we just haven't got the quality, I think, to get into the playoffs.
Nick?
I think if we lose tonight, we won't make the playoffs. If we draw and win the next 3, as I said earlier, we need 10 points out of the next 4 games, and that will keep us just about on track. So nothing less than that to say keep us in the hunt.
Mark?
No, I think it's too big an ask, but it's not going to stop me from hoping that the miracle is possible.
Excellent. And Ben?
On paper, it's very doable, but I don't think this team's capable of putting that much of a run on together to make it.
Okay.
But it's mathematically possible, and fingers crossed we can prove everyone wrong and pull it off.
Let's hope so. The teams are in their huddle. I will shortly hand you over to Craig for first half commentary. But just a reminder for those who perhaps aren't watching it and are purely going by us, every 15 minutes-ish, I have a little quiz question for you, which will be ticking along the bottom of the screen as well. But as I hand over to Craig, for every Swindon fan there and every Swindon fan watching at home, let's hope the next hour and a half to 2 hours is an absolute delight. Craig, I hand the reins over to you as I flash the first question up for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, so Walsall are about to kick off. And they've played it back, gone straight to their goalkeeper. He's hit it long. Headed out there by Clayton. It's a bit of a battle on our left-hand side, and it goes out for a Walsall throw. So yeah, they went quite direct there. Walsall did at the beginning, so they got the throw in their final third of the pitch. Comes back all the way back to their goalkeeper. And keeper hits it long again. Goes over to the left-hand side. Hutton with a good challenge. He did enough to put off their player, and we've managed to put it out for a throw-in. So yeah, so it looks like obviously that Walsall are going quite direct at the moment. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how our defenders deal with that. As we know, both teams are really out of form at the moment. In fact, Flynn said after their defeat against Stevenage on Saturday, he said their first half performance was a disgrace. So he's not afraid to dig out his players when he wants to. So it'll be interesting. 2 teams out of form to see who gets the result today. So yeah, Walsall just thrown it. Ball's just come into our half, and it's out for another throw. So yeah, bit of a scrappy start really these first couple of minutes, but we've defending well so far. We're keeping them. We're making sure that they're not threatening us. So they're playing it. It's back to their central defender. He plays it out to their left-hand side. Back to him again. They're playing it across the back quite nicely here to their right back. He cuts inside, totally sours Wakelin. Passes it out to the right, but fair play. Wakelin carried on battling like he does, and goes out for a Walsall throw, which they've taken quickly. But Clayton's done another good job winning that one in the air. Darcy's picked it up in midfield, hits it out to Hutton, and it's gone long, but out for a throw. That was a poor ball there. I think it was by Brewitt. But yeah, it's it's interesting to see how it's going so far. I've been doing a bit of research on the Walsall side, but Flynn has told his players that they've got to play for a contract, some of them. So you'd like to think from the Walsall point of view that they will step their game up a bit if that's the case, and probably the same for a few of our players, to be fair. So yeah, it's very scrappy at the moment. I think we've just given away a free kick on their right on the far left-hand side of our defensive third. And so yeah, the players are lining up at the moment. What do you think so far, Ben?
Well, I'm seeing the free kick lined up. Much opening stages. Both teams just looking to settle down at the moment. Yeah, it's just feeling away. Walsall being the home team, obviously, have set precedent by having a little look first and having most of possession. It's just early stages. They've got an early chance here with this cross coming in.
Yeah, the free kick wasn't a good one by Walsall in the end. We managed to clear it out, but they've still got the ball in our half. And we're doing well closing them down at the moment. We're not giving them too much time on the ball. Jeffcott and Wakelin seem to be doing quite well. The goalkeeper hits it long again. Clayton with another header he's won. He's won every single challenge in the air so far against his man. Although their number 7's come through now on the edge of the area. Hits it out to the left. Hutton does well to keep him under pressure. And Darcy. And they've managed, and that's good pressure there by Swindon. We've managed to force them to play it into their own half. Now they're coming back again on our left-hand side. Again, Williams, good closing down and hits it out for a Walsall throw. Yeah, it's looking. I like the way we're closing them down at the moment. We're not giving them any time on the ball. We're forcing them to make mistakes or to kick it out of play. So it's very good. Don't you reckon, Ben?
The press has been good. You can see this is a little bit of Morris's game plan because he wants to play a bit of high press. So we're getting into them early. We're just not seeing any of the ball at the minute. But I'm sure we'll get a time where we will have a chance to input our own game into this match.
Yeah, I think we just have to be patient at the moment. Yeah, like you said, Ben, it has been Walsall that's had the ball, although their number 16's picked it up now. And has he got a foul there? No, he hasn't. They've still managed to keep hold of it. But again, we are really hounding them on the ball, not giving them any time at all. And again, great play by Wakelin there. He manages to turn the player and hits it out wide to Hutton. Hutton hits it to Shade, and Shade's put under pressure for a Swindon throw. And it's in their half at the moment, just past the halfway line. And Hutton to take the throw. So let's see if we can turn it around, because at the moment it's been Walsall with the pressure. But to be fair, the town have dealt with it really well so far. And the throw gets to Jeffcott, I think. Yeah, to Jeffcott, and it goes out for a Walsall throw. Yeah, it's looking all right so far. Oh, Ben's gone. What do you guys think? I'll bring you all in. It's we seem to be handling the pressure well, and we're not giving them any time on the ball. I quite like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, for me, Craig, I agree. I like the pressure from a defensive perspective. I'm a little bit concerned, and I appreciate that you're probably, 20 seconds or so ahead of me, so you've seen a little bit more. But I'm a little bit concerned that we've not had a real
Walsall have got it on the right-hand side. They've got a cross in, but it just goes over to the other side of the 18-yard box. And again, good play from Shade. He put pressure on their player, but he's lost it now. Town appealing for the ball. They've got it in our area. And he tries to cross, but it's closed down well there by Brewitt for a Walsall corner. Shade did really well there. He managed to get the ball off of the player, but then he held on to it too much, tried to get the foul, which wasn't given. And their player managed to run it into our area. He got past Shade, but Brewitt was there to knock it out for a corner. Their corners come in, and it didn't. It was a poor corner, and it's gone out for a Swindon goal kick. Sorry, Fyfie, if you wanted to carry on there, mate.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I agree on the defensive pressure. I'm just seeing the Shade incident again replayed and the corner kick. My only concern is we're 7 minutes into the game, 8 minutes into the game, around that mark, and we haven't had a moment of actual possession yet, really, would be my only slight concern. I agree with your point about being patient. But I do think that our team is a team that is better with ball, or should be better with the ball. So to go the first 8 minutes or so without really having it is my only sort of minor concern.
Oh, great play by Hutton there, but he managed to lose it again. But now we've got Lavinier on the left-hand side. Let's see what he can do. But again, the Walsall player did well closing it down. Now we've got Williams on the left-hand side. Hits it inside to Lavinier. Back to Clayton. Now it's back onto the right-hand side to Hutton. Hutton's hit a really good through ball to Williams as he gets towards the byline with the cross, and their player managed to close it down for a corner. This is the first time we've actually threatened. It was good work by Hutton there, and let's see if we can make the most of it from this set piece.
Yeah, first bit of attacking moments here for Swindon Town. Some good movement, some good passing, and hopefully this is the start of Swindon getting a grip into the game and hopefully putting some efforts on that Walsall goal.
So the corner's coming in, but it was low one, and the ball's just come out. It's just come back in again, and it was cleared again by Walsall. It wasn't a good corner in the first place, but now Williams has picked up. Can he keep it in? And he has. It's a good cross, but there was no one there for him. And now Darcy's picked it up on the edge of the area. He gets past their player, wow, and he has a shot and it deflects, and it's gone out for a corner. Good work by Darcy. He turned his man there, managed to get the shot, but it was blocked by the Walsall player. But it's good to see us have a bit of pressure. Good work, good work from Darcy there.
To be fair, Swindon are being quite clever here, Craig. I think we're not moving with the ball as much as Walsall are. We're allowing Walsall to.
Well, Lavinia with a shot, and it's easily saved by the goalkeeper. But that was a well worked corner there. Yeah, it came out to Williams. He hit it back to McEachran. And Lavinia was in one of those positions that he's had where he scored some cracking goals this season, but it was an easy shot to save from the Walsall goalkeeper. Yeah, sorry, Mark. You were saying about that we were being quite clever there.
Yeah, we're being quite clever with the ball. The energy management of the players is there. When we've got the ball, we seem to be holding our ground quite statically and looking to move the ball quickly rather than expending a lot of energy with our runs. Walsall, in the first sort of 7 or 8 minutes or so, have used a lot of energy in trying to get attacks through on goal. And obviously, we say we're having to be patient and wait for our moments. I think it really is that we're weathering that early storm now. Hopefully, we can create some chances.
Yeah, and if Walsall keep up this sort of high press that they're doing, their players could tire in the second half if they're keeping up this intensity. To be fair, now Bryn's Bryn's just hit it long, but it was a poor ball from Bryn there, and it's gone straight to the Walsall goalkeeper. But it's interesting how we're playing at the moment. We've had a bit of pressure after the initial Walsall onslaught, if you can call it that, at the beginning. So we've now got a throw in deep in our own half.
Sorry, Craig. Just while it's a defensive position, can I ask Nick if there's been any goals in the league in the first 10 minutes or so? You're muted, Nick. Nick, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm clicking too many screens at the moment.
That's okay.
I'll say Wimbledon are 1-0 up down at Newport. Al Hamadi scored his 6th goal of the season. That's the only one in our league. The only other team that we might have a slight interest in was Blackpool, and Jerry Yates scored a penalty in the first couple of minutes. Apart from that, it's fairly quiet across the rest of the games.
Thank you very much, Nick. As Mike says, evening, Jack. Sort out your dad's tech. Laughing face.
So earlier on, we just saw some good work from McEachran there. As we said, he's just so energetic in that area of the field, and he just seemed to be trying to make things happen. So Shade's got it on the right hand side, plays it back to Clayton. Clayton hits a brilliant ball there to Lavinia on the left hand side as he runs into the Walsall half. He cuts inside. Darcy's got it now. It was a late challenge on Lavinia, but the referee plays on. Now it's back to Clayton. Clayton to Williams. Williams to Lavinia. Lavinia with a great ball, but I think it was just a bit too much for Hutton there. This is looking good. This is looking better than what we did against Carlisle on Saturday, certainly. Let's just hope we can, do something in that final third. So Clayton's picked it up now as he runs into their half. But oh no, he's held onto it for too long. But he was rescued. He was nearly rescued there by Wakeling, but Walsall have still got the ball. And now they're playing it between their defenders as it comes over to the right-hand side. But that was a poor ball by their right back, and Wakeling's picked up the ball on the left-hand side. Williams is coming on his left, but he hasn't seen him. There's a good cross, and Jeffcott tries to shoot, but the Walsall player was on him. Williams has picked it up again on the left-hand side, and it's another low cross, and it goes all the way through, but Shade couldn't quite get there in time. But now McEachran's got the ball. He hits it out wide to Hutton. Hutton with a good cross in, but it's headed out by the Walsall defender. Now McEachran, he does so well to keep hold of that. That was like a 50-50 ball, but he was just, I think McEachran's been hurt. And yeah, it's a free kick to Swindon. But just before that, I think McEachran took a knock because he was hobbling just before the referee gave the free kick. Again, it was good work from McEachran. Shade was held off by his man there. That was good defending from Walsall, to be fair. Yeah, McEachran, they haven't showed it now. Yeah, he did take a knock from that player in the first instance. So hopefully he's still not down. But no, good. McEachran's up now, so that's good. But yeah, he definitely took a bit of a knock there before the final foul that the referee gave. And now it's a free kick with Clayton on the ball. Hits it. I don't know what's happened here. They took it too quickly. So the referee's asked them to take it again. So now McEachran's got it. Hits it to Darcy. Darcy to Hutton. Back to Clayton. Now Johnny Williams has picked up the ball. He cuts inside. Well, he's got a lot of space, and he's tried a fancy flick there, but there was no one there for it. Now Wakeling's got it on the left-hand side as we approach their final third. And now Lavinier comes inside again, but the cross was going nowhere, unfortunately. Well, at least I hope it was a cross and not a shot. What did you think of that little spell, Ben?
I think Swindon now, as we thought we would do eventually, are starting to get more of a grip into this game after also had the early exchanges. I think we're imposing ourselves a little bit more. We're starting to ask a few questions of their defenders. And if we keep playing the way we are, sooner or later we're going to find an opening. So far, so good. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, and to be fair to Walsall at the moment, they are defending quite well. So yeah, we need to find that opening. We haven't really penetrated them yet. So yeah, but we've now got a free kick in our own half. And Clayton hits it out to Lavinier. Lavinier hits it back to Clayton again. Clayton to Lavinier. Lavinier tries a turn, but he loses the ball. And well, fair play to Clayton. He anticipated that well, knocked it out. But yeah, Lavinier was caught in possession there. But luckily, Clayton came to his rescue. As Walsall picks up the ball on the right-hand side, crosses it in, comes back out to the right. And now they've played it back to their central defender on the halfway line. He comes running through past Jeffcott, but it was a poor pass by him, and it's gone out for a Swindon throw.
Okay, I'll just jump in very quickly, Craig, if that's
all right. Yeah.
Just going to say I've had the question going on for the first 15 minutes or so. Question number one for today: most appearances under Scott Lindsay, 2 players. Sean got 1 correct. He guessed Bryn and Hutton. The answers for that was actually Bryn and Shade, with 28 appearances each. So well done for getting 1 correct. Next question, it's going to be a recurring theme this time. Most appearances under Garner, just 1 player this time.
Yeah, so Walsall have just given the ball away back to us. And Jeffcott's picked it up, but it was a poor ball really in the end, and that's easily picked up by the Walsall goalkeeper. And he's rolled it out. It comes out to the right-hand side by the sideline. And they're playing it well, to be fair. Darcy's doing a good job, though, closing them down, asking questions of them. But yeah, to be fair, Walsall, they are doing a good job of keeping the ball at the moment, playing it back to the goalkeeper and around their back four. And this is pretty much the same pattern of play, but yeah, it looks like the goalkeeper's gone long this time. And again, Clayton's done well. He did enough there to put off the Walsall striker, and it was a free kick. The striker must have been offside. But yeah, good defender. I'm really impressed by Clayton so far. He's done everything asked of him, and he's looking really good in the air. To be fair, as well as as we know, he's very good with the ball at his feet. So now Bryn's got it, and Bryn hits the ball long. Oh, crikey. That Wakeling went for the header, but it looked like he got absolutely clattered by their defender. I hope he's okay. Wakeling's still down, but we've got the ball we're playing on. Now Brewitt's got the ball. He hits it inside, but it's easily intercepted. Shade Shade went to the ball, but the Walsall defender got there before him very, very easily. But Darcy's now picked up the ball. I think Wakeling's okay now. Williams with a brilliant back flick to Lavinier, who picks it up on the left-hand side, knocks it out to Wakeling if the camera can keep up. Wakeling back inside to McEachran. Williams knocks it back to Clayton. Clayton back to Wakeling as he tries to get past his man. Oh, yeah, just a little bit too much there as it rolls out for a goal kick. Again, another little good passage of play. We just need to get into that final third and really test their goalkeeper, which we haven't really done at the moment. I don't think really either keeper has had a save to make either. Did you see that foul, Ben? It looked like Wakeling got absolutely clattered when he went in for that challenge. I can't hear any of you guys.
I'm still here, Craig.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear now. I couldn't hear Fyfie or Ben. That was the thing. And
I'm on mute. But I'm about 8 seconds behind you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, mate. All right.
Saying, really.
All right, so Williams has picked up the ball now. It was a foul, but the referee's played advantage. Good ball by Lavinier to Wakeling. Wakeling with the first time cross, but it was just out of reach for Jeffcott. And it goes out for a Walsall goal kick. Wakeling seems to be doing quite well on that left-hand side. It's good to see him up in what looks like a front three at the moment. Lavinier doing well as a makeshift left back. It goes for another Walsall goal kick. It goes long, but it's won well there by Williams. Williams has got the ball again, knocks it inside to McEachran, but McEachran was put under pressure from the Walsall player really well there, and I think it's gone out. Has it gone out for a goal? Yeah, it's gone out for a Swindon goal kick.
Craig, I'll just give you an update on what's happening score-wise across there. Again, there's excuse me, there's only the one goal from Wimbledon in League Two. Other games of interest, Blackpool are now 3-0 up. Our friends up the road, Bristol Rovers, are losing at home to Wickham 1-0. Burton getting beat 2-0 by Peterborough, and Charlton are actually winning the game 2-0 at Morecambe.
It's looking good at the moment. Williams has picked up the ball on the edge of the area and he has a shot, but it goes over. There was good work there by Hutton and Shade on the right hand side. Williams was just outside the D with a right-footed shot, but that's coming back down with snow on it, unfortunately. But it's still good. We're putting them under a bit more pressure, and like I said, we really need to test their goalkeeper. Yeah, sorry, Nate, you can carry on, mate.
Yeah, that's okay. Just the other thing I was going to say, it looks like we're starting to get on top of the game from the stats. I know we all love a good stat. We're 56% possession, but then the rest of it's just evened up. 3 shots each, 1 shot each on target. We've got 2 corners to their 1. So obviously from the stats, it's a fairly even game. And we just need that breakthrough goal now.
Yeah, so we've got a throw deep in our own half. Looks like McEachran's taking it. Wakeling's come all the way back for it, but good pressure from the Walsall player there, and it's gone back out for another Swindon throw. And McEachran goes to take the throw again. He's kind of boxed in there by the Walsall players again. They're doing very well at closing us down. So the ball's bouncing around in the air at the moment. It's brought back down, but good closing down there by I think that was McEachran again. But Hutton's picked up the ball into the half, and he's ran all the way into their area with a shot, but it was easily saved by the goalkeeper. Hutton, he ran from the halfway line with the ball, inside our own half with the ball. He left their defender for pace, but yeah, he was at a difficult angle there, and the goalkeeper was saving that all day long. But very, very good breakaway there from Hutton. And now Walsall are playing the ball again at the back. And yeah, they're still doing the same thing. It's quite a patient build-up coming from Walsall at the moment. They're trying to probe us and see how we're doing. They seem to be a bit less, a lot more cautious when they're on the ball. But hopefully we can, with the pressure we can put them under, we can make them make a mistake. And that's good work by Darcy as he puts their player under pressure. He's still got hold of it in the coming into our final third. It goes on to the right-hand side. It goes back into the number 23 there. And he's hit it out left. Their man is free, and he crosses it in. It's a great cross, and it's headed out by Brewitt, but only as far to our edge of the area on the right-hand side. The Walsall players kept it in. He's knocked it back. Another cross comes in, but Bryn came out with a brilliant punch there. Although I think he got clattered by one of our own players. So, yeah, I think he must be all right, because otherwise the ref would have stopped play by now. But yeah, that was a good punch out by Bryn. It was a dangerous cross from Walsall. But Walsall have still got the ball in a dangerous position on the edge of the area. But we're closing them down well. It's knocked back inside. They're still keeping the ball well here, but we've managed to done well, and it's back into their own half with their defender on the ball now.
Yeah, it's a good little spell from Walsall. I'll keep them possession really well, and the probing Swindon back line, and this is something we need to weather this little spell coming up.
Yeah, it's there hasn't been much in clear-cut chances really so far from either team. I mean, Jeffcott was the closest earlier with that corner, but with that shot that went out for a corner. But yeah, let's hope that we can get some proper chances, because that's the one thing that Jeffcott's struggled with this season. I think one of the reasons why he has struggled is he wasn't getting the chances really when he was playing. But yeah, we've got the free kick. Oh Christ, what the hell happened there? Johnny Williams tried to take a quick free kick, and he knocked it into Darcy, and it just struck Darcy and rebounded. But luckily, it went straight back to Clayton. But again, Walsall have won the ball back by their press. But it's gone back into their half, and it's a good ball down our left hand side there, and the their number 8 nearly got a cross in, but it was a good tackle from McEachran, and it's gone out for a Walsall corner. So again, they're forcing errors on us at the moment, so we've got to make sure that that we don't, especially in our own defensive third at the moment, because that's where that happened. But luckily, McEachran recovered well and managed to get the tackle in, so it went out for the corner.
Always feel nervous when we concede a corner at the minute.
Well, and quite rightly so, Ben, and that right
as well.
Yeah, with our record. So the corner comes in, and it was a glancing header off of the Walsall player, and it's come back to the halfway line. And the keeper's quite far off his line, and he's knocked it to their right back, and it's back to the keeper again. He does like coming quite far, and it's a long ball there, but well won by Lavinier, but only as far as their number 8, who manages to get a cross in, but there was no one there. And now Shade has got the ball and does a nice pass inside to Darcy. Darcy plays a great ball to Shade as he runs it into the Walsall half, but there's no one with him. But Hutton was coming along the right-hand side, but I don't think Shade saw him. He's still got the ball and has knocked it back to Clayton, who picks it up at our halfway line. Lavinier has now got it on the left-hand side. Back to McEachran. McEachran to Clayton. Clayton plays it over to the other side where there's Brewitt. Brewitt inside to Johnny Williams. Williams inside to Shade. We're doing well keeping the ball at the moment, but it's still in our own half. That's the only thing. It's but Shade's picked up the ball well as we approach their final third with Darcy. Darcy plays it out wide to Hutton. Can he get the cross in now? And he does it with his left foot. It's a good cross, but Wakelin was getting nowhere near their 6-foot+ defender there. Although good pressure from Lavinier there, and I think it's gone out for a corner. I can't see because of the bloody camera angle. Yeah, it looks like it's a corner for Swindon. But yeah, good pressure from Lavinier. He managed to force the error on the Walsall defender. So I think it's McEachran coming up to take it. Darcy's coming up short. And yeah, it's gone for the short corner. Darcy back to McEachran. McEachran plays it to Lavinier. Lavinier out to Hutton. Hutton with a great cross in, but the Walsall defender did a good job of beating Wakelin to the ball there. Was it Wakelin? Oh no, it was Brewitt actually. But the Walsall defender's down now, so we've got an injury.
Can we just jump in very quickly, Craig?
Yeah, you don't have to ask, mate. Just if there's a gap, just jump in, mate.
Let's start with Nick, who can confirm a big goal, I believe, in League Two.
Yeah, Northampton are 1-0 up from a penalty. Hoskins with his 19th goal of the season. Couldn't we do with somebody who's doing that? But that's the only other goal in League Two. Nothing much else happening. If those are interested, Man City are 0-0. That's an 8:00 kickoff. So apart from that, it's fairly quiet across the board. But yeah, it's Northampton's the main score at the moment. It's changed.
And I'm just going to quickly jump in and say thanks to those who sent in guesses. Someone did get it right this time. Most appearances for Ghana. The answer was Iandolo with 52. So next we get rid of Ghana, and I asked most appearances up until half-time for Sheridan. Back with you, Craig.
Yeah, no problem. No problem, Fyfie. Yeah, the players are having a bit of a break at the moment due to the injury to their defender. What do you reckon so far, Mark, in the last 15 minutes or so?
It's a pretty even contest at the moment, to be fair. I mean, it just requires a single piece of quality from either side to make the breakthrough. Lots of endeavour. I would say that both sides are lacking in the final third. I'd like to think, looking at the options we've got on the bench in the second half, we've got some game changers there. So, maybe that is all part of the plan today, just to weather the storm and go Tommy, yeah, absolutely. Why not? I mean, he's on the bench for a reason. He's obviously played his way into the squad. So let's see what happens. But yeah, it started. You'd say the first sort of 10 minutes or so was definitely Walsall were the side in the ascendancy. We've come back into it and crafted, like you say, a few good chances of our own. Overall, balance of play, it's a fairly even game. Unfortunately, though, Craig, it is 0-0 with a third of the match gone.
Yeah, exactly. And as we said, neither side is really threatened so far. But like it's a good point about the options we've got on the bench. So if you can imagine you're a Walsall defence and you're being battered by Shade, Wakelin and Jeffcott, and then you've got Hepburn Murphy with his pace and obviously Charlie Austin in the second half. So that, you know, maybe that could be the tipping point for us in the second half. But really, we need that goal before half time, ideally. But at the moment, I can't see where it's coming from. To be fair,
I've got a sneaky feeling, Craig, that he might change the formation to 5-3-2 in the second half and put Hepburn, Murphy, and Austin up front. I don't know whether that will happen bang on half time or whether that will happen maybe around the 60-minute mark, but that would seem to make the most sense. And obviously, after the last couple of matches where we've actually looked good at times through the middle of the park and able to, in terms of getting the ball forward quickly, hopefully there'll be some end products and, you know, like you say, get that goal to get the win.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So Clayton's picked up the ball, but he's closed down well by the Walsall player, who manages to keep it in right in the corner, and I think it's gone out for a Swindon corner. The camera angle's not really good here at the Bestcott Stadium by the looks of it, and yeah, it is a Walsall corner, another dreaded corner. They do have some big players at the back here, so, and the corner comes in, and it's headed in, and oh no, it's gone in. Oh no, that is poor from, or is it a free kick? Has it gone in? Yeah, it looks like it's a free kick. Yeah, the linesman's given something. I haven't got the audio on, so I don't know what's happening. I think it was offside. Yeah, I think the number 20 was offside. But
can I just say, that's very lucky. Well, no, whether correct decision or not, Bryn, how has he let that go in?
Yeah, that was shoddy from Bryn. And, I think we've been let off there. But now we've got the ball on the right hand side with Hutton causing problems. But the cross was a poor one that time, and it was easily put out by the Walsall defence. But now Darcy's got it back out to Hutton. Hutton back to Darcy. Darcy's not having a bad game so far, to be fair. And McEachran plays it out to Lavinier. Now it's back into our own half as we play it across the back between Clayton and Brewitt. But Brewitt with a brilliant ball on the right hand side there to Hutton. Hutton inside to Darcy and McEachran, but it was well intercepted as Walsall come back on the break. The player's done well, but 4 Town shirts on him. That is brilliant. That's what I call commitment. That's what I want to see from my Swindon Town team. They didn't give him a chance. He looked like he was going to cause a problem, the Walsall player, but we were in there in no problem at all. And the ball's come back out through Lavinier, and it's going up and down at the moment.
Already.
Sorry, Ben, you were going to say something on the Bryn miscontrol, should we say?
The Walsall striker ran right in front of him as it was going past him. So if he was in an offside position, he was interfering with play, which put Bryn off for the goal. So it looked. He should still be.
I don't think that the player really put him off. That was sloppy from Bryn.
He still should have saved it, but it was in his line of vision. But he still should have saved it.
So Walsall come out, but I think that's gone out for a Town goal kick. That was good work there from Brewitt. He managed to force the Walsall player over. He used really good strength there and made him run it out for a goal kick. Yeah, solid performance from Brewitt so far, I think.
Just to go back on the Bryn incident, the player was offside, so the goal was correctly ruled offside. But there's no excuse from the goalkeeper there. He should have claimed that. He let that squirm under him. Yeah, bit of a worry this far. Let's see.
Yeah, no, I agree, Mark. Yeah. I mean, it did look offside, but that was quite sloppy from Bryn. Looks like they got another injury. I think it might have been the same player from before. So we've got another break now. Be a bit of added time at the moment, but some decent. Sorry, mate.
I'll just bring you there is another score in League Two. Grimsby are 1-0 up. It's Sutton. So obviously that's quite good for us. and it's a Fyfie who scored only his 3rd goal of the season. So obviously he's going to be quite chuffed for that. So yeah, that's Grimsby 1-0 up at Sutton.
Yeah, so the player's still down at the moment. Ben, what's your thoughts at the moment, mate?
It's even Steven, really, isn't it? I think Walsall probably might think they've probably looked slightly more dangerous than Swindon. That's not saying Swindon haven't had their moments. It's the game's sort of waiting for something to happen. Really, it needs to spark into life. It's not been the most attractive game so far. It's two teams that look like they're looking for form rather than being in form. I think the game needs some sort of spark or something to happen to ignite and to kick off. But let's hope something like that happens fairly soon. It's good that Mansfield and Sutton are losing. Hopefully, we could take advantage of that. But we need to force the issue. We need to be a little bit more creative and get through that and get behind them and get that first goal, because there's not a lot going on at the minute.
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah, it's the chances seem to be few and far between at the moment. So hopefully the game will spark into life a bit more in the second half.
Fyfie, I don't know if you're actually counting, but I see it says we've had 5 shots, and that's always a bone of contention with you, how many shots we actually get in a full game. So I hope you're counting, and you'll be continuing counting in the second half to see if you agree.
What Opta class as a shot is not what I class as a shot. Someone 20 yards out deflecting out for a throw-in is not a shot.
Well, we've had 5 of them anyway.
Nick, sorry, Craig.
No. So I was just saying that Wakeling's won a free kick. I thought he was injured, but he's got back up okay.
Nick, can you confirm this comment from Sean after you just said 0-0, Haaland, 2 goals in 2 minutes?
Oh, yeah. I've got one. What have I got on it? Yeah, 2 goals, 2-0 up. It's obviously we're not so worried about Champions League. Yeah, no. 22nd minute penalty and 24th minute for his second goal.
So Walsall have picked up the ball in our half, but again, good pressure from Darcy. But again, Wakeling picks up the ball, and then it's good pressure again from Walsall. It's the same thing that just keeps happening time and time again. It's very, very scrappy at the moment. So Clayton hits the ball back to Bryn. Now Bryn out to Brewitt. Brewitt with a good ball on the right to Hutton, but he's closed down by 2 of their players, and he had nobody with him, and they've managed to win the ball back. And it's hit to their number 14. But again, good pressing there by Swindon. But yeah, Hutton probably wasn't that good a pass by Brewitt in the end, because as soon as Hutton received the ball, there was 2 players on him. He had nowhere to go and no one to pass to, as it goes out for a Swindon throw. So we're coming in up to 3 minutes before half-time, but obviously there'll be quite a lot of added time, probably at least 5 minutes, I'd imagine, at the moment, as we're trying to play it out from the back again. It's interesting, really, because one of the things that Michael Flynn said in his pre-match, good work by Shade, and he's closed down by 3 players. He managed to get it out, but again, good closing down from Walsall. And their player, he's done a good job, but Hutton's managed to stay with him on our right-hand side. But Walsall still have the ball at the moment, but they just can't get it into the final third for them. It's back being played at the back with their defence. Johnny Williams went in for a 50-50 ball, but they still managed to keep hold of it. So they're playing it about at the back again. Yeah, it's interesting to see how Walsall are playing, because one of the things that Michael Flynn said after the Stevenage game on Saturday was he questioned the players' heart and how much heart and ultimately effort that they put in. He said that he gives him everything in his heart and everything, but he questioned whether some of his players do the same. And And I think at the moment they definitely showing that they have got the heart and the commitment for it at the moment. So
yeah, Craig, looking at the stats, that's showing up on 7 fouls by Walsall and 1 by us. So they've obviously had a bit of a roasting and have been told to get stuck in.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he said that it was men against boys against Stevenage, especially in the first half. So yeah, you're probably right, Nick. He's probably asked them to toughen up a bit and yeah, against a team like us where we can be overwhelmed by the physicality of other teams, that could cause us a problem. But at the moment, they still haven't. Obviously, neither team has really managed to force the issue. As we get into the last minute of normal time, we had a free kick in our own area. And it's to Brewitt. Brewitt inside to brilliant turn by Johnny Williams as he cuts inside. Space opens up for him and he hits it to Clayton, who goes for a long ball, but there was no one there. It was a poor ball in the end. It wasn't a hoof. He wasn't hoofing it. He was looking for, I think, Wakeling to run onto it, but Wakeling was nowhere near it, and it was a bit too much to ask for him, to be fair. But with good pressure from Wakeling there, as he put their defender under pressure, and then went on to the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper, I think his kick deflected off of Wakeling. But yeah, it's good work at the moment. It is a very scrappy game, but it seems to be a battle of wills at the moment. People are getting stuck in. Even Johnny Williams there. He's getting physical, and but now it's gone out for a corner. Lavinier with a good tackle there, but it's gone out for a corner, which just before half time we don't really need. Although, like I said, there should be quite a lot of injury time to play. So as Walsall are about to take the corner, they line up, the corner comes in, and it's an out-swinging corner, but it's cleared well by Wakeling there, and it's back into to the... Oh, and that was a good interception from Jeffcott, but Walsall still have the ball as it comes inside, but again, well closed down by Brewitt. McEachran's got the ball, but that's a foul. Yeah, he was... manhandled off the ball there. McEachran tries to take a quick free kick. Yeah, that stat's just come up, Nick. Yeah, 8 fouls for Walsall at the moment. So we've got 5 minutes of added time. The first minute of that has already passed. So 4 minutes left.
If there's a quick break just for the last one of this half. Most appearances for Sheridan question. The answer there was Payne with 23 plus 7. We've got 3 more in the second half for you.
Yeah, so again, good pressure. I feel like I keep repeating myself here, but it's all that's happening. We're putting them under pressure, forcing them to make mistakes, and hitting it out for play. But it's the same for them when they're putting us under pressure. Although I would say, I'd imagine that we should have slightly more of the possession stats, I'd have thought. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah, the possession is 46%. 5 shots on target for us, 4 for them. I say the most differing stat is the 8 fouls to 1.
Good cross by Hutton, and Wakeling has a shot and it deflects, I think, it looked like it deflected off the Walsall player, but it's gone out for a goal kick. That was one of 2 crosses that Hutton's done so far that was actually of good quality. I'm sure that looked like a corner to me, but no, the referee's given a goal kick.
That is absolutely a corner.
Yeah. So we're getting into the last couple of minutes of stoppage time, and Walsall have the goal kick. It goes long, but again, one wow by Clayton. He's having a very good game so far. And I don't know if he meant to do that. It would have been a good pass to Williams, but he's lost it. Good harassing by Darcy, but they've managed to get it to the left-hand side. And oh my God, that was a close one there. we were doing well, but Walsall managed to hold on to the ball, and the shot came in, and it just went wide of the far post there. Yeah, we were closing them down, but yeah, the number 6 there for Walsall left shade for dead, and but yeah, it was quite far out and a bit of an angle, so it would have been something spectacular to have gone in, but that's probably the closest either team has been so far. So Bryn with the long goal kick. But Walsall have picked it up again as they cut inside, and it comes down our left-hand side with their number 7. Darcy's doing a good job of keeping pressure on him. It's back to their number 7 on the right. He's got some space, and it's a good cross in, but he was always it was good pressure again. I think that was Clayton again, who did enough to put him off, and that wasn't troubling Bryn. Yeah, it was Clayton again. Clayton's having a very, very good game so far. He's been absolutely solid. And the referee's blown up for full time.
Half time.
For half time, sorry. Full time? Fucking hell, it feels like full time. Yeah, because it says a minimum of 5 minutes, but that's 4.5 minutes that he's blown up for after there. So, yeah. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, sorry, it looked like
Craig Kamara.
It looked like the players were walking off the pitch. I haven't got the audio on. Oh, God.
He's been brilliant first half. He's just basically done the whole comms. He's done a good job.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Now it's full half time. Half time. Yeah. Well,
it has to be said, stunning job done there, Craig, for that.
Thanks,
first
mate.
half.
It's more difficult than it looks, trust me. Yeah, try to be interesting and not monotone, but it's bloody hard. So, yeah. What do you think then, Fyfie?
Well, I was going to say, I'll give you a little break for your voice now, and I'll resume the hosting duties just for a moment. For me, but as you've asked me, for me, this is 2 very, very average sides playing out a very, very average game. There is a distinct lack of, I think Mark said it, this game needs a bit of quality. I think there are times where our players look like they have it in them, but they don't have it within them to show the quality. Williams has shown he can still do that clever little turn, but he's not getting away with it. Lavinia's shown a couple of nice touches to put himself in space, but it still stems to that same problem. We have a squad that looks like it's creative, but can't create anything. These mythical shots we're having, they're not clear-cut chances. And then Walsall did have that one at the end. I think you described it perfectly. I believe it was their number 6 on the left-hand side. Clayton's done really, really well at the back, but we do just open ourselves up when they get the ball from one side to the other for me. And I would say that they've got into better positions without creating better chances. Ben, you've been on co-com duties, so please give us your review of the first half.
Yeah, I think you summed it up quite well there. I think both teams are struggling to create chances. I think Walsall have been will probably be slightly the happier of the 2 sides, because I think they probably had slightly the best of it. They've had the goal that was disallowed.
That was awful by Bryn. I have to say again, that was so bad by Bryn.
He should have stopped it. It was offside, but he should have stopped it. Yeah, I think Swindon have had their moments. I think it is possible for them to go on and win this game. I think some changes possibly will be needed fairly quickly in the second half, though, to actually force the issue. And I think that needs to be happening. I think either one of the teams need to get, it's there for the big winning for either one of these sides. If they can take the game by the scruff of the neck and just say, right, let's have an actual go at this team. The game's there for the taking, but that's for either team. So we wait for the first goal. I think the first goal is massive as well. I think whoever scores first has a real chance of going on to win this match.
I completely agree. Seeing comments come up. Craig, I know you went to get a quick drink there. Mike said, my impression is that Craig made the first half sound more interesting than perhaps it was.
That's very kind of him to say so.
On Twitter, Rob says, good work all and top job by Craig on comms. We've got H the Duck. Why isn't Slick Rick in this midfield ahead of Darcy for the second half, apart from he's not on the bench? He follows up with, and Gav saying, what is slightly more average than very average? And Hank there backing up the point as well, missing creativity and correct decision making in that final third. I'll bring Mark in a sec, but Nick, catch us up with the half times, and obviously you've been listening to Craig's commentary. What did you make from what you heard?
I think, like everybody said, it seems fairly even across the board without anybody really creating anything. It's missing that bit of spark of magic that you need. And I think I'll probably agree with Ben from what I've heard, that the game's there for the taking, and it's going to be probably who's the bravest to do it. But just a quick through, I'll pick out a few scores. Man City is still 2-0. Ones that we probably might be interested in: Blackpool are beating QPR 4-1 at half time. Middlesbrough 1-0 up against Stoke. Bristol Rovers are losing at home to Wickham. Charlton are now 3-0 up at Morecambe. And I think we know the scores now. It's Wimbledon 1-up, Northampton 1-up, Grimsby 1-0 up at Sutton. So it's say not a lot of goal mouth action in League Two. So 3 points there for the taking if we get those. And as I said at the start, we will still be on track, but we desperately need 3 points today.
I'm just seeing these stats on the screen, and it says obviously total shots 6 each on target, 1 for them, 2 for us. Clear cut chances, 0 for anybody.
Yeah, that sounds about. Can I just say about that comment about Jeffcott being poor? That probably is true, but he's hardly had the service, to be fair.
We don't create anything.
Yeah, we don't. Which has been. I think Jeffcott's just been incredibly unlucky this season in that most of the games that he's played in, we just haven't been creating anything. So it's a shame, really. I just think he's just really, really unlucky. And you'd think with Wakeling and Shade up there that we would be able to create more, but it's just not the case really at the moment.
Craig, I want to bring Mark in just a sec, but I got the defensive stats up there. You praised Clayton. It said that we've won 60% of the aerial duels.
Yeah, that's probably right. I think that's like most of the work. They've been more direct than we have, and obviously most of those duels have been in our half. So yeah, that's probably about right. And it's not just that, but you can see that Clayton's reading the game well. He's timing his and his anticipation is very good at the moment. You can sort of see that academy level coaching that he's got. He reads the game so well. So yeah, very impressed by Clayton at the moment, and he seems to have a decent partnership there with Brewer. I think Brewer only did the one thing wrong, like I said, when he played that pass to Hutton when he had 2 players coming onto him. But other than that, he's been quite solid. He's put in some really good challenges, and that's the good. We've slated the defence recently, and quite rightly so with how poor it's been. But touch wood, that first half was a pretty solid defensive display, I think.
Mark, much to the dismay to the viewing public, I've been very quiet in my role as onlooker. I know people were entertained by my over-exuberance last time round, jumping up and down on the sofa and swearing, but literally nothing has happened.
No, I mean, yes, I'd agree. There hasn't really been any exciting saves from either goalkeeper or any spectacular shots from distance or even inside the box. It's pretty much defenses are on top. I think one of the telling stats, well, there were 2 telling stats really. Our tackling percentage or success rate was about 88% in the
88%, I read, yeah.
which is phenomenal. And I think that's probably down to the fact that we're holding, or we're marking zonally anyway, which is what Jody Morris said that we're going to do. So whenever we're out of possession, we seem to be operating in a low block rather than a mid block. So the players are holding their ground and going in to steal the ball late and letting the attacking team come onto them. And it's working quite successfully. So I'm not overly concerned about that. The other stat there haven't been any crosses. So we're not relying on Hutton to be the main outlet for success, from balls coming in. I think where we are looking most likely to score a goal are from the direct runs of either Shade, Williams, or Wakeling as it stands. When they're on the ball, they're looking to run with it and do all the work themselves rather than play balls in and try and play 1-2. So that's obviously a very drilled perspective. That's obviously a tactic that they've been set up to play. I don't necessarily think that's how we're going to continue playing the game, because I'm sure that Jody Morris will change it up. I look at that bench and I think there are options there that can really make a difference to how this game goes in the second half. I think that the telling thing really is that we've got to half time without conceding and that we don't look out of the game. But neither side looks in the game. So, I tend to agree with Liam's comment that it does look like very much a mid performance. Based on the first half, I'd be inclined to agree. But let's see what happens in the second.
You mentioned the subs bench there and that there are options. Would you be making changes at 45 to try and have more of an impact on the game, to try and spark something? Or would you hold it out till maybe 60 odd and then attack it from there?
This is the gamble now. I mean, do we show our intention early? I think that he'll make the changes to have Charlie and RHM up front together as a pairing. I think that's very much the ploy. Whether we do that at 45, I don't know. Whether that means that we'll push Wakeling further back to keep him in the side, because I still think that even at the weekend against Carlisle, he still offered something defensively, if we need him. I don't know. I mean, I'm quite excited about the fact that it's been set up for a very specific reason. I mean, normally when you look at our bench, it's a case of, we're making up the numbers, or have been in recent weeks. And if we looked at our predictions for, the team that was going to start tonight, wouldn't have picked the 11 player for player that Jody Morris has done. So I don't think there are injury concerns. I still think that Adloy's got a very good chance of getting into this game. If you want somebody that offers a little bit something a bit different in the 6-yard box, then he is that player. We haven't had or played with a Tyree Simpson type character up front, with any reasonable success this season. And I don't think that Adloy's been given enough of a chance. I mean, other players have been have maybe failed a little bit, and he's not really been given the opportunity. Don't know the reasons why. We will see, but I still think the more physical and stronger players in the team have got a good option of getting us a goal in the second half.
Craig, let me ask you a question, if I may. You were very complimentary in the opening 10-15 minutes about the press that we were putting in and the endeavour of the players in doing that defensive press. Obviously, that's a difficult thing to maintain. Do you feel that the level stayed more or less there throughout the half? Were you impressed with the endeavour with which they were attempting that press?
Yeah, it was still quite intense. It just kept happening time and time again. Whenever one of their players had the ball, there'd be 2 or 3 of ours on him, and the same vice versa with Walsall, really. But we're used to playing that way. I don't know if Walsall are used to playing that way. So I have a feeling that they will tire in the second half if they keep that intensity up. Whereas I'd like to think that we would be able to last a little bit longer. And as Mark said, with the options we've got on the bench, I think we'll be, it'll be quite interesting. And with some fresh legs and everything, that could be the tipping point for us. But the way we've pressed it was a lot more better than what we did against Carlisle on Saturday for sure. And I just like the battling spirit that we've been that's been out there. That you got players who are proper, we've had a lack of leadership, and I don't just mean like leadership in a captain sense, but just leading by example and giving everything you can. Whereas you see people like Brewitt, Clayton, Darcy as well. He's ran his socks off again, and of course Wakeling. We expect that. So yeah, it is really good to see, but it needs to pay off. It's all good, well and good doing that if you don't have the final product and probe their goalkeeper. So yeah, it was good to see, but it needs to we need to follow it up with some end product because we have to win today. Simple as that.
Liam's gone on to the Lower League Look Twitter page and put a good evening. Fools rush in. How professional you look. Craig nailing the first half commentary. So no pressure, Mark, in keeping up those levels that Craig has managed to do. Nick, let me come to you quickly, and then I'll go back to Ben. How confident are you that we can up the intensity, up the creativity, up what's needed to turn this 1 point into 3?
Yes, I've got to be confident. We know what needs to be done. We know we've got to push it for these points. I think the key thing will be that Mark said earlier, it's how he uses the subs off the bench. I think that's going to be key to the game. Whether he, who he brings in is the forwards to bolster it, whether he freshens up the midfield a bit. I think that's the key decisions that Jody Morris has got to make now. If he gets that right, and maybe, Charlie coming off the bench may just give us that little bit of extra quality up front that could do a job for it. So to me, substitutes are the key to getting something out of this game.
Okay. Ben, players just coming back out onto the pitch. Are you optimistic?
Yeah, well, we've got to be. We've got to start on the front foot. We need to be better than we were in the first half. We've got the players to do it, but let's see if we can. Fingers crossed. Am I still echoing, by the way?
It's mainly when other people are talking to you. When you're talking, it's fine. Oh,
okay, fair enough.
But we'll carry on because it was working well in that first half. We'll carry on as it was.
Okay, cool. Sound fair enough.
I'm slightly behind on the feed here, waiting for the kickoff to begin on my stream.
Sorry, mine hasn't kicked off either yet.
Okay.
Are they stood in the centre circle waiting?
I've got the I follow second half logo. Here we go. Yeah, here they are. Both teams appear to be back out on the pitch and ready to go. Well, they obviously are.
Because, oh, what a save! Oh, that's carnage. Sorry, Mark.
Obviously, I've got something to look forward to momentarily.
Yes, we will hand over to Mark, who's going to lead you through. Ben will remain on comms, and Nick will be continuing his score centre. I will keep an eye on the comms, and just for those who are interested in a little something extra, we move to our next manager. Most appearances for Wellens is the question.
So we're just waiting for Swindon to kick off in their white shirts and black shorts, playing from left to right on my screen as I see it. Walsall all in red this evening. Don't appear to be any changes at half-time as I can see it. And an early touch there for Tom Clayton. Oh, lost the ball there. This is obviously that is a great save by Bryn. Low dive to his right to palm that one away. Bit of a slip there from the defender. So Walsall still pressing here. Swindon clear their lines. Appears to be a free kick to Walsall for a foul by McEachran. Just seeing the replay now of the slip by Lavinier. Yeah. Got caught with his feet under him, gave the ball away. Walsall took far too long to line up that shot, and Bryn was wise to it, dived to his right and made a decent save. Free kick about to come in from the left-hand side by Walsall, just waiting for the referee's whistle. Swindon playing a high line, 5 in a row. Just waiting to see what happens here. Bryn needs to be shouting a bit more than he is. Okay. That's a crap free kick by Walsall and an easy claim by Bryn. And Swindon looking to play it out from the back on the ground. Up to McEachran. Out to Lavigne. Back to Brewitt and back to Bryn. So tidily playing the ball out from the back. Again, maybe not too quickly. But Swindon definitely panicking there in defence. No real need for it. Should have got a foot on the ball properly. But we have won the throw-in on the near side. Hutton to take the throw. I think the ball's just about come to play. Flick on by Shade. Wakeling being held. Referee hasn't seen that.
Sorry, Mark, if I could just interrupt just very briefly. I think I can hear your audio stream coming through as well.
I'll just adjust that 1 second. Sorry.
Thank you.
There we go.
I just don't want to. I don't want us to get cancelled because of broadcasting nightmares.
No, understood. So there's a throw-in coming in from Walsall on the near side. Swindon trying to organise their lines. Johnny Williams being very vocal. The recently internationally retired Johnny Williams, that is. Okay, Walsall looking to play a 1-2 down the left-hand side. Ball coming in. Deck's cleared. And Wakeling is looking to break down the left-hand side. Is he going to make it? Oh, he's been pushed off the ball there. That's a clear foul. And the referee has given it the other way. Unbiased commentary, as always, by Swindon Town fans. Fools rush in. Okay. Brewitt cleared there. Nice header away into the midfield.
Oh, fucking
Walsall seem fairly comfortable on the ball. Swindon not looking to engage too early. And we've just given another free kick away on the left-hand side of the pitch again. Brewitt, the man to have made a foul there. I think he's remonstrating with his innocence with the referee. I know he's laughing and joking, but perhaps the referee's just calmed him down a bit because the smile's gone from his face. And again, Swindon looking to line up with a high line of 5. Walsall attacking with 4 players. Level. Nobody's playing offside, looking to come back onside. And the cross is about to come in. Looks very similar to the one we had a moment ago. Hopefully Swindon can clear the decks. Bryn's better positioned this time. That was a very clever free kick. That could have crept right in. He saw the space that was there. And if that had been on target, I don't think Bryn would have been able to stretch to his right to make the save. But as it was poor execution. And Swindon can breathe again.
Ben, on that free kick that Mark's just described, the one where Bryn was at the back post, they tried to take a clever one towards his front post. Is this the experience thing again? Because you think that professional footballers would be aware of that kind of thing happening, wouldn't you? Sorry, Ben, you're still muted.
He's not talking.
It's
Hi,
me.
Ben. Hi, Ben.
Oh,
yeah.
hello. Sorry, Millwall just scored, so Jack's being very noisy behind me. Yeah, he needs to be a bit switched on with defence. Jack, doing?
Well,
Yeah, we're defending free kicks like that, but they caught us out. But didn't survived, and we go on to a little bit more pressure. I'm about a minute or two ahead of you, so I think we've got a bit of Swindon pressure to catch up on in a minute. Mark?
Yeah.
Johnny Williams has just won a free kick after some good work from a throw by Hutton on the right-hand side. Appears to be arguing that their player should be getting a yellow card. I don't think the referee's going to give one here. I think Swindon are going to get the attacking free kick in a good central position. Brewitt's probably getting overly involved again with the match official. Probably needs to stop smiling and keep his nose out. There we are. Walked away. That makes the marks change to the Swindon of earlier in the season, where we probably would have picked up our 5th yellow card of the game. Just looking to see what happens here. Hutton and Williams over the ball. Very much little and large, looking at their statures side by side. McEachran's come back and is suggesting maybe plays it over to the left-hand side of the goal. Let's just see what happens.
Go on. Ref! Hey.
Okay, Williams plays a quick one to McEachran. McEachran back to Williams. A bit of a short pass there, but Lavinier on the ball. Where are we going? Shade back to Lavinier. There's a bit of sold the pass a little bit short there. Okay, Brewitt's got the ball back to Bryn. Swindon back in control of possession. Looking to distribute the ball out to the left-hand side. Lavinier now on the ball and marching up the left. That's a great pass for Jeffcott to run onto, but Jeffcott not being blessed with not having much game intelligence to make a diagonal run there. And the Walsall player
I love that, Mark.
Again, ball's now coming down the right-hand side from Walsall. Walsall trying to bring it across the middle and through. Oh, Johnny Williams nicked the ball there. Shade, go on, make a run. No. And Johnny Williams has fallen over again. And the referee's given a yellow card to a Walsall player. Fairly innocuous. I think Williams made the most of that, but that's what he does best.
Shock.
Johnny, I spend most of the game on my arse. Williams is now back up and moving into a central position. So Maddox has picked up a yellow card there. Yeah, there we go. There's the yellow card. Now we're looking to try and make something happen in the attacking third. Let's just see who's going to take this free kick.
Nick, 10 minutes into or just coming up to 10 minutes into the second half, any goals to notify us of? Anything going on around the grounds?
Nothing extra in League Two, but Haaland's got a hat-trick, first half hat-trick for Manchester City. Shock. Blackpool are 5-1 up. And anything else we'd be interested in? Bristol Rovers are still losing. Burton are losing 2-4 at home. Charlton are winning 3-0. Yeah, that's about it of interest. So it's reasonably, well, I say very quiet in our league. No change from half time. And the only other one people might be interested in is Middlesbrough 1, Stoke City 1. It's obviously tight up that end of the Championship. So
Championship's a great league, isn't it? It's so competitive.
It's the best league of all. It's far more competitive than the Premiership. Got some really good teams in there, some big teams, good crowds, good atmosphere. Yeah, it is. It's good.
Okay, there's a coming together of several players that appears to have Lavinier injured, getting back to his feet now.
That was a bad one on Lavinier. That was.
I wasn't happy with it either.
It was a late challenge.
It's a few years cards now for Walsall.
Yeah, Lavinier's clearly not happy. Okay, so another yellow card, this time for Comley. Hopefully, Labs is going to get back to his feet and carry on in the second half. No sign of activity on the bench yet. I'm just waiting for the game to get back underway. Yep, so first 10 minutes of the second half has been played. Ben, what are your thoughts currently?
It's a lot more open. I think there's a lot more urgency from both teams as they're looking to have a lot more of attacking intent. I think both the managers at half-time have gone, lads, come on, there's a game here to be won. Yes, just get stuck into these lot. And you've got a feeling that it's opening up a little bit. And, you know, there's going to be a lot more chances for both teams. So it's been an encouraging start. It's been feisty as well. A few good tackles come in. And I fancy it'll be a lot more entertaining this second half, which would be quite good.
Okay, free kick just came in from the left. Ball's out with Hutton on the right. It's back into Darcy's looking to switch the play. Recycles the ball via Lavinier and out wide. No, ball still back in possession and on the attack down the right-hand side once more. Craig, anything to add at this stage?
No, I mean, like I said, it has been quite feisty. The challenges are going in thick and fast by both teams. It's good to see sort of Clayton as well. I know I've been going on about him all game, but he just made a thumping challenge on one of their players, and he's always seemed a bit lightweight, if you see what I mean. This, for this season, but yeah, it's good to see. Obviously, Morris has told them to. To be a bit more physical and everything, and that's good to see, because that's what you need at this in this league. You need a bit of physicality, you need a bit of grit and determination. So yeah, it is good to see. But again, we just need that end product.
Ben, I appreciate that we're about 60 seconds or so ahead of Mark. We would have just seen Walsall have already reacted to what's going on with a double change just before the hour mark. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, they obviously are reacting to something. He's not happy with the way this game's going, and they've made a tactical change the second half. But unless he's trying to make it more boring again, I think this game's actually kicking off into something that's watchable, which wasn't in the first.
So he's brought off Lowe, who's a centre back, and I think they've moved the player over because Gordon, who came on for him, is a left back.
Yeah.
So I think they've reshuffled their back four by the looks of it, and they've brought Stevens off for Connor Wilkinson, who's also a forward player. So yeah, obviously there's some reasoning behind that for Flynn. But
just before I hand back over to Mark, as we approach the hour mark, the most appearances for Welland's question. The answer there is Woolery, 49 starts and 16 sub appearances. So we go from Welland's for the next 15 minutes or so. 3 players shared the most appearances under Brown. Can anyone guess who those 3 players are? Mark, back with you.
Corner for Swindon. McEachran jogging over to take the corner. Williams has dropped in for the short play, but appears to be backing off. Just waiting to see what Swindon can do here. Defenders coming up. I can see Brewitt and I can see Kane on the edge of the area. This looks like a routine. Let's just see what happens here. 3 Swindon players in a line about to break. Good move, Swindon. Oh, that was unlucky. That was a header from Brewitt. Wasn't actually on target, but it was well played. Good routine there, Swindon. Would like to have seen a little bit more finesse with the execution, but I can't take that away from them. At least they tried something. Interestingly, Swindon have yet to make any changes or any tactical changes to the lineup. And we're approaching, like we said, that hour mark, and Walsall having played their card first. Be interesting to see what Jody Morris decides to do. Certainly in the next 5 minutes or so. I wouldn't want to go another 10 minutes playing this way, because I don't necessarily think it's going to be enough to win the game. We will see. Darcy is basically gesticulating to the players to get a move on with moving the ball. Doesn't appear to have had any impact.
Oh
do you think, Mark, that he should make a double substitution, bring on Hepburn, Murphy, and Austin now first for Jeff Cott and Shade?
If I'm honest, I would not bring Austin on. I would bring RHM and Adloy on. I think Adloy's physical presence would offer more than Austin would do currently. I think it's worth the attempt. Maybe play a little bit more direct.
That is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's all. It was obviously you're a bit behind, maybe. It was a shocking ball from Hutton.
Yeah, Hutton just made a mess of trying to clear his lines, but luckily got the throw in on the right hand side. Shade looking to make something happen with the ball into Wakeling. Wakeling has won the ball back. Bit of ping pong going on there. Nobody really getting a grip on the ball. Okay, there's a hell of a hoof by Hutton there. Wakeling looking to beat the defender, who has the measure of him on this occasion. McEachran on the ball again. Clips it to Hutton. Hutton trying to advance down the right, well into the attacking third. Good cross. And that's to nobody in the middle of the pitch. ball back with McEachran again, who seems to be the chief creator. Every time he has the ball,
Yeah.
Swindon look positive, and that is that awful cross. I've got absolutely no idea what that was. Again, the change in tactics this time appears to be give Hutton the ball and ping it into no man's land, which is one of our best from this season. If we're going to play that way, then we need somebody in the box that can win a header.
We need someone in no man's land.
I wonder who we have on the bench who could do that.
Charlie Austin is probably the best player that we've got from a heading perspective on the bench. So is that what we're opening the game up for? Let's wait and see.
Ben,
Swindon.
that was very close.
Daniels with a shot there. I mean, to be honest, I'm not quite sure why Swindon love to let that first ball bounce when it comes in defensively. The touch of the Gerald Eiffels about waiting for that one to be cleared.
Touch of the Eiffels.
Gerald Eiffel was a bugger for letting that first ball bounce. He used to frustrate me no end. There were shades of that just then. We weren't punished on this occasion, though. Ben, have you fallen asleep, or have you seen anything in the last 7 or 8 minutes which makes you think that Swindon can get a breakthrough?
I think it's quite lively at the moment. I'm quite enjoying the second half. I think both teams have been... I think both teams are going to go for it. I think as this game goes on, caution is going to be thrown a little bit to the wind, because what's the point of just seeing out this game as a draw for either side? They need to win just to get kickstart, because loss is a loss. Neither team are going to get relegated. If we don't force the issue, then both teams will just dip into mid-table nothingness the rest of the season.
Do you
So
think,
I
Ben?
think both teams are going to try and force the issue and get a goal. I think this is going to be quite a nice.
Do you think, Ben, that Walsall will be more likely to push the issue, because they're the team that's drawn loads and loads of games? They need a win, don't they? And that maybe that will open them up a bit, and we could take advantage of that.
But they're also seeming quite lively themselves and trying to be aggressive and get on the front foot and get the ball forwards quicker. So they're not settling for a point, and Swindon certainly are by the look of the second half, the way they're going about themselves. So I think this is. I think as the game goes on, I think the game could get more open and open. I think Swindon will be interested to see what dice Swindon throw when we make our subs. I think Hepburn Murphy will be on soon, using his pace when legs get a bit tired on that heavy pitch, because it looks not great out there. So hopefully a bit of his pace might really...
If I may interject quickly. Craig, let me ask you first, because I'm not sure if I'm being harsh or not. I still don't see what Jeff Cott is offering. He seems to be running around plenty, but even his press isn't getting anywhere near the player.
No, unfortunately not. I think the first 10 minutes he wasn't too bad. He was part of that, the whole team that were putting the Walsall players under pressure, particularly their back line. But he's just not offering anything. He's not, he's not getting behind them. He's not making any runs, and I think it's crying out for at least Hepburn Murphy to come on and actually make something happen. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I mean, you could argue as well he hasn't really had any chances.
Correct.
He's had the one shot which wasn't ever going to go anywhere. So yeah, I think unfortunately for Jeff Cott, he's going to have to come off for at least for Hepburn Murphy. I want to see Hepburn Murphy come on anyway, regardless, because I know Ben's saying that it's going to open up more, but time's ticking by, and we need to we need to start getting this game by the scruff of the neck, and putting Walsall under some proper pressure.
Mark, as I hand it back over to you, while Ben and Craig were talking, you would have seen that Walsall opportunity now that was very, very close.
It was very, very close, but it's indicative of the game that it didn't really look like it was going to amount to anything. I mean, if it had gone in, I would have probably been a little bit nonplussed about it. But as it stands, it's still 0-0. And whilst we're waiting for the touch paper of this match to ignite, is there an update from you, Nick?
There's no change in League Two. It's as we were. Northampton still 1-0 up. Wimbledon 1-0 up at Newport. Grimsby 1-0 up at Sutton. So from that point of view, they're all pretty good results from us. We just need now to push on and get ourselves in front. Man City are now 5-0 ahead. So they're running riot. So I'm sure it's going to be everybody's darlings. They're going to Champions League winners elect. I'm sure that'll be in the papers tomorrow. No other really interesting scores. Bristol Rovers are losing now 2-0 at home. Peterborough's 5-2 up at Burton, and Charlton 4-1 up at Morecambe.
Fucking wasteful town.
Indeed, just watching a free kick on the left-hand side of the pitch. Again, it seems to be an area where Walsall are playing for free kicks. Bryn again covering the far post and the ball coming in towards him this time. Oh dear, Butterfingers. Jim Leighton there. Ball is away.
Jim Leighton. Pop culture reference for all the youngsters watching.
Yeah.
Bryn's not necessarily having his most confident game, and I think that Walsall are playing into that. Although, to be fair, I would argue that their number 5 was blocking the view of the goalkeeper intentionally, and he did throw an arm up. He didn't make contact, but it would have been interesting to see what decision the referee would have given if he'd have made contact with his elbow. Bryn to take a goal kick now.
Mark, as chief commentator for the second half, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Walsall made their changes on 57. You said you give Jody 5 minutes. You wouldn't like to go another 10.
Yeah.
You've pretty much gone that other 10 and nothing's changed.
Yeah, it's a bit of a concern. Unless we've actually gone here to play for a draw, which I really hope we haven't, then we need to be making these changes now. I mean, I can't quite see what benefit there is now to retaining this shape and personnel.
Pass the ball!
There is that. Maybe get it forward. Where is forward man when we need him today? Okay. There is Swindon losing a bit of possession in the midfield far too readily, and there's a lot of hoofball that's crept into our play in the last 2 passages. Not quite sure what the reasoning for that is, but that looks more panicked than planned. Johnny Williams seems to have dropped off the pace a little bit, not keeping up with the play with the midfielders. Swindon chasing shadows. Okay, Walsall playing the ball quite nicely around the back, look fairly confident. Swindon look a little bit devoid of ideas in terms of what they're going to do next. Great interception by Kane there. Unfortunately, Wakelin's first touch deserted him on that occasion. Yeah, it has to be said, Johnny Williams is starting to look more of a passenger as this game goes on. He's lost a bit of zip in the last 10 minutes or so. Okay. Not quite sure who was fouled there. Yeah, that was Wakelin that was fouled. Perhaps held onto the ball a little bit too long and perhaps could have released Shade, who was in a good position on the right-hand side. And one of the Walsall players is getting a talking to here. Don't think a car is going to be produced on this occasion.
Just while Mark has a lull in the commentary, worth reminding everyone watching along that at the conclusion of this game, the live stream will continue with our kind of phone in, if you like, where we will reflect on the game. Your comments are welcome as always on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. And last time we went to about 11 p.m. I don't think we'll find enough to talk about to go that long, but we'll be on for a good half an hour or so after the game to take your views and speak our minds as well. Back with you, Mark.
Brewitt on the ball in the second half. Played a lovely little ball on the right-hand side to Shade, who's just about to cross the ball in. Anyone in the centre? And nobody there. In fact, the ball actually went out of play, uncontested. Game is screaming out for changes now, Jody. So if you'd like to make them anytime soon, that would be fantastic. Let's see. Nothing at all.
Liam suggesting Mansfield down to 10 with a horror challenge.
Okay. Play back with the Walsall goalkeeper who's looking to distribute from hands. I know it's actually a goal kick, so it's from the ground. My bad. The game has really slowed down. I'm not quite seeing that either side want to be going for this right now. Again, Brewitt seems to be at the heart of winning everything in the air for Swindon there.
Oh, come on!
Swindon losing their way a little bit, I think. Shea doing a great job there. Johnny Williams went for a challenge and missed it. Ball's coming out from the back. Lavinier That's a great pass into Williams. Great layoff out to Wakeling on the left-hand side, who shoots tamely into the defender, but Swindon win a corner. A little bit more like it, a little bit of faster rotation. Again, less than 20 minutes to play, and Swindon is still yet to make any changes, which I'm starting to find a little bit bizarre now.
Well, on that, Mark, if I can jump in quickly, we're seeing changes. Ben, do you want to pass comment on these as they happen? You need to unmute yourself first, Ben. Ben?
Hi, Ben.
How you doing? Sorry, I'm just watching Swindon make some substitutions. I think we're going three at the back. Wakeling on over left wing back again.
Yeah, we asked you to. We were just saying, do you want to pass comment on the substitutions?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Wakeling, I think we're going three at the back. Wakeling at left wing back, two up front. I think we'll see Austin in the next 5-10 minutes as well. Very soon as we try and force a goal, which we desperately need.
Austin, Hepburn, Murphy, and Minton are on.
I don't think Austin's on yet. Oh, yeah, Austin is on. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. Sorry,
Jeff. As we settle back in, Mark, the substitutions have happened. Let's see how this unfolds now.
And as expected, Hepburn, Murphy, and Austin come on as a pair. I think this is planned. Will be interesting to see now whether we change our shape, because obviously Minton's dropped in as well for, I believe it was Lavinia that went off. I'm right in thinking that. I'm just trying to see how.
Yeah, Lavinia definitely went off. Yeah.
Okay, it seems to be a battle of trying to see who can win the ball in the midfield. Johnny Williams fouled and on the deck again, but referees having none of that.
I don't know if this is the same for anyone else on audio, but Hawes and Anthony Grant have now got Brummie accents. So
that was a long ball to nobody. I think that the target there was Hepburn Murphy, but as quick as he is, he was never making that. Okay, Walsall play down the right-hand side.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And across the This is painful to watch for Walsall, who appear. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do here, whether or not they're looking to retain possession and go for another draw. Doesn't make sense. Neither team appear to be able to win the ball for long enough to make anything happen. It's going to be
painful.
It's going to be one moment of quality or one horrendous mistake that decides this game if a goal is coming. I'm starting to think that Craig's early pre-match prediction of it being 0-0 because we're doing a watch-along is maybe going to come to fruition.
Just to confirm for you, Mark, in case you did miss any, so it was Jeff cut off for Austin, so that's straight swap. Hepburn Murphy for Shade, I would say that was pretty much a straight swap, and Minton for Lavinia.
Also trying to work the ball in from the right. Nicely shepherded by Minnow there.
Earthling Ben, who's been throwing comments in through the second half, not impressed, saying these substitutions have come about 15 minutes too late.
I agree. I think I don't understand why he's left it so long. It just I don't get it.
Maybe a case of getting minutes into certain players. I don't know. It wouldn't necessarily.
No, we're not here for minutes. We're here for points.
Exactly. Well, we've still got one at the moment. So let's see whether we can do something with that.
If I could just interject very briefly for the last time for this, we've been asking who's made the most appearances under Brown. There were 3 players. The answer is Taylor 27, Noyle 25 plus 2, and Anderson 22 plus 5. So the last manager taking us through to full time is most appearances for Flitcroft. Nick, anything to report before we hand back to Mark?
Newport have equalised against Wimbledon. Charles Lee has scored only his second goal of the season. That's the only change in League Two, and probably people have already seen Man City are now 6-0 ahead. I think with Haaland getting 5, so he's on absolute fire. So nothing else really from our point of view of interest. Charlton are 4-1 up at Morecambe, so they seem to be doing a bit better now.
And a further change by Swindon is Kane is on for Captain Fantastic Johnny Williams for the evening. Let's see if we can make something happen now. I'm watching Darcy play the ball out to Wakeling on the left-hand side. Wakeling jinks into the left and then loses possession. Great header by Clayton. And the ball out for yet another throw-in. Another break in play. Ben, anything you want to add at this time?
Not really, Jeff.
Well, I'll add something, Mark. It's just turning into a dead rubber. I think it's slowed down and got just really scrappy. I mean, it wasn't great in the first half, but Christ. I mean, I'm hoping these changes would have made a difference, but bloody hell, I really hope it doesn't end up 0-0. You'd think at this stage in the season that there'd be a bit more urgency and we just go for it. We have to win. We have to win.
We need to force this issue here. There's no fucking about. We have to get the points.
Craig, well, I know. Sorry, Ben. Finish your point. Sorry.
No, just saying a point's no good. It's you might as well lose than get a point. You got to gamble. You've got to get 3. You might as well lose trying to win because a point is no good.
I'd rather we do that.
Craig, I appreciate the subs have only been on for a matter of 6 or 7 minutes now, and it takes time sometimes to get involved in the game. But has our talisman touched the ball yet?
I don't think so. No. Hepburn Murphy nearly touched the ball, but he was in the wrong position, and then the ball ran out of play. So, I think Kane's had a couple of touches, but there's not really much to say at the moment. And that's the thing. Sometimes it takes subs time to get into the game, and I think if we don't win this today, there'll be a lot of scrutiny with Morris about the substitutions. So. Let's hope we can. We do pick up the win.
Just before handing back to Mark, catching up on the comments, Ben's saying we're making it too complicated and fluid for these players. We need a solid structure. What does Adeloy have to do to get a chance? And Gav said, did Nick say before kickoff he wasn't watching the game and was focusing on the scores? Genius. You picked the right game to miss, Nick. Back to you, Mark.
And as we head into the final 10 minutes, fairly plain to see that the scoreline hasn't changed. It's still very much Walsall 0, Swindon 0 on this cold and dreary Tuesday night, which pretty much sums up the standard and quality of the football that's been served up this evening.
The exact point that Dan's just made in the chat there as well.
I would say that I think Walsall focusing on our weak link, which tonight appears to be Bryn in goal. I mean, when the ball's been played back, they're putting under a huge amount of pressure and it looks telling. So I'm a little bit concerned that there's an opportunity for Walsall there to think about it. There's some afters going on with Clayton and, surprise, Charlie Austin and a couple of other players in the box. Just waiting to see what's happening here. Wilkinson is being pulled out to have a conversation with the referee. I don't think any cards have been shown. Clayton's been had a stern talking to as well. No card shown. I think it was just a case of handbags. But obviously looking to wind each other up in the penalty box, which is never a good sign. Just waiting for a throw-in to come in from the far side. Into the central areas, flicked on, and Swindon clear their lines. Again, possession is now with the Walsall goalkeeper in the centre circle, who's clipped it back up into the area. Swindon again clear their lines, but cheaply give possession away to Walsall, who can't do anything. And Swindon are looking to attack down the right-hand side. Hutton makes a great throw. And again, Swindon just wastes the ball, wastes that second ball. It just appears that nobody's willing to get their foot on it and do something, make something happen. Clayton now in possession. Clips the ball out to the right, straight to a Walsall player, who now build down the left-hand side. No real pressure. Walsall clear their lines. Ball's in the centre of the park. Walsall referee's just given a free kick for what appears to be offside. Nothing much happening. Ben, who's going to score our winner?
Fuck off!
Austin in the 93rd minute.
I'd take that right now.
That's hopeful. That's beautiful.
We are so average.
Hmm?
It was Fyfie moaning.
Wakeling with a throw on the left-hand side. Nobody's really moving to receive the ball. Walsall wise to this.
This time, go on.
A great run there by McEachran there. McEachran in the area. Possession lost there by Kane. And the ball's cleared. Out for Swindon throw on the far side, about midway through the hand. Swindon perhaps could and should have made a bit more of that opportunity. An earlier shot was probably the right decision. Kane looked to cut back and Walsall in possession.
That was better. That was better.
Okay.
Just on that break, Stevenage have just gone 1 up with Reed getting his 10th goal of the season.
Hepburn Murphy shoots. Oh, cleared by Montfort there. Come on. And again, Swindon trying to attack from here. Wakeling loses the ball. Out for a Swindon throw deep into the attacking third on the far side. Let's see what happens. Who's looking to take the throw? No, Kane's now in possession.
Turn it go.
Ball in. Headed by Hepburn Murphy. Oh, just wide of the far right-hand side. Probably the best chance that Swindon have had in the second half. Header wasn't on target. If it had been, Swindon would have been 1-0 up there.
Oh!
Looks like Swindon are beginning to ramp up the pressure towards the tail end of this game. Just waiting for a goal kick to be taken now by the Walsall goalkeeper.
I feel for you here, Mark.
Approximately 5 minutes or so. Just over 5 minutes to play. That's a great ball by Kane. Out to Wakeling on the left-hand side, who cuts inside. Plays the ball into Austin. Austin back out to Wakeling on the left-hand side. Recycles the ball into Darcy. Darcy looks to shoot, lines up, and oh, what a save. What a save. Ronan Darcy, baby, looking to score one of his famed out-of-the-area goals. Unfortunately, not on this occasion, but Swindon appears to have a corner. Just watching the replay now.
Keeper did well to get to that, didn't he, Mark? You must have seen that late.
Yeah, great technique by Darcy. Corner into the left-hand side now. And defended well by Walsall. Looks like Hutton's going to take a throw in from left-hand side. Will we see the long throw by Hutton into the box? Again, taking the age.
I really do feel for Mark here because slowly more and more noises are coming from the rest of us as we're slightly ahead. So he knows something's happening, but no idea what it is. Oh, fuck off.
Hutton's long throw into the box as planned, defended by Walsall. Darcy, no, what's going on here? Ping pong on the edge of the box. Walsall struggling to clear their lines, but again, the ball now defended for another throw into Swindon on the left-hand side. Back into play to Clayton. Clayton to... No, Kane's now on the ball. Kane brings it back deep to Minnow. Minnow out wide to Hutton. Swindon looking to press an advantage here. Horrendous attempt at trying to reclaim the ball by Hutton there. Oh, my word. What type of defending was that by McEachran? Come on, Swindon. Clear your bloody lines. Again, shepherded out well. I think the ball went out of play there, ref.
Dan saying Fyfie's reactions is how every single Swindon fan feels right now.
Not quite sure what the referee's given. He's given a Walsall throw. Thought it could have been a Swindon free kick. But Walsall have a throw in on the left-hand side, deep in the attacking third, potentially the opportunity to launch one into the box. Bit of a worry here, how they're all kind of crowding in front of the near post area where Bryn looks potentially quite vulnerable this evening. Waiting for that ball to come in now. Long throw in, flicked on. Nah, Walsall fucked it. Absolutely, absolutely no quality in that.
Fuck off, referee!
And Bryn will take a goal kick very shortly.
I'm sorry, Mark, it is a little bit ahead, but there's been a couple of times here when there's been free kicks or something, and Austin's been holding on to the ball for a long time. I know it's to prevent them from taking a quick free kick, but we're running out of time here. You know, it's just eating valuable seconds.
Not only that, but football is a fucking contact sport still.
Yeah, try telling that to Johnny Williams.
I just seen one of the. I know Austin. Okay, there's definitely a foul by McEachran in there, but I did just see the incident you're perhaps referring to there. Austin standing in the way or holding on to the ball, like you say, preventing them from taking a kick quickly. Not really sure to who that's benefiting. Are we
do things quicker?
Are we trying to protect a clean sheet to take a point back to Wiltshire? Or
point is worthless.
That's my thoughts exactly, Mark.
3 draws is as good as a win. Have we got the new?
No, don't start that shit with me now.
Let's wind up Fyfie before full time.
I don't think that's too difficult at the moment.
Darcy was actually making a blistering run forward there, and we've decided not to bother.
Oh!
He's going to launch a free kick.
Jesus Christ.
Both teams look devoid of ideas at this moment in time. I'm not quite sure who wants it more, which is really what it comes down to in these final couple of minutes of stoppage time.
From my perspective, we actually look the least average of the two at this point. I'd say we were more likely to win, but it's not very likely, if that makes sense.
I think it just seems to go in phases, though, Fyfie, at the moment. It looks like us, then it's them. What this shows is just how shit this league is, to be honest.
Just very quickly, as we are on 89, I will conclude the quiz. So it was the most appearances for Flitcroft. The answer was Lancashire with 39.
Ollie Lancashire, what a player. Okay, again, free kick to Walsall here. Game's getting very scrappy in these dying moments. I'm not really sure, again, what either side is looking to do to potentially score a goal. Moments earlier, Hepburn Murphy had a great chance of nicking in at the last second. Very quick to react. But
fuck off Hepburn Murphy.
Beforehand. Okay, just waiting for Walsall to take a free kick again, which appears to be the 7th or 8th free kick in a similar position. So clearly an area where they have been looking to exploit Swindon with balls in from the left and to the right. Clipped in towards the penalty area. Cleared by Brew to the edge of the area. Wakeling flicks on. Darcy clears the lines. And back with the Walsall player in the centre circle. Kane won the ball there. Charlie Austin's finally touched the ball. Out wide now to Hector Murphy on the left-hand side.
The fuck was that?
Clipped back in. And has lost possession. Trying to go past one too many players there. Ball out for yet another throw.
That's shit as well. We're so shit.
And we're now into time added on. 4 minutes of time added on. And the inevitable reality of a goalless watch-along for Fools Rush In is slowly appearing to dawn upon us as my commentary becomes more dour. And
Mark, you're doing a stunning job.
As the second half goes on.
Mark, you can only work with the tools you're given.
It's very true. And there are 11 tools on the pitch right now. So just cannot seem to
Ben, is it coming?
Passes together. And Ben's watching a
different
thing. There is
tackle! Superb tackle! Come on!
Kane clips the ball into
I tell you what, I hope he's really injured because
Darcy up to Hutton. Hutton clips the ball into nowhere and out for a Swindon throw on the near side in the corner towards where the Swindon fans are based.
I don't get this one. Fyfie, I know he's correct. Fyfie needs to use his voice for ringtones. Does that mean I've got some sort of comedy voice? Steve said, my season ticket renewal is quickly becoming based on whether Sandro stays. And Nigel says, I'm waiting for you all to fall asleep in a minute. Oh, believe me, we're not falling asleep.
Wakeling on the ball on the left-hand side, pushes it past the defender, but pushes it too far and out for a goal kick. And I think that's Clayton down. Looks injured from the innocuous-looking knock from moments before, although he does appear to be clutching himself. Not quite sure whether it's a stomach injury or elsewhere. Difficult to tell from this angle. Difficult to tell from this angle, although the physio looks reluctant to touch him where others might. So he appears to be okay to continue. Wait. Looking at a replay of what actually happened. Went in for a tackle on the right. Appears to have gone over on his wrist by all accounts.
30 seconds, Tom. Come on.
Literally into the dying embers of this arse of a League Two game where literally nothing has happened for the best part of 95 minutes.
Go, travel, option, anyone, someone, get there! Oh.
And I want Ben's prophecy to come true now where there's one hopeless punt, although there is a hopeless punt up front. But nothing's come of it. Straight back to the Walsall goalkeeper.
Unlucky, remember. Good effort. Come on. One last chance. Come on.
I think the referee's almost given up on bothering to play the additional minutes and perhaps should call time so he can get in his car and get home at a reasonable hour. His match report will not have much to in it this evening, so it should be a nice, easy ride for the referee. Swindon break down the left with Hutton.
Why are you not fucking shooting?
And again, ball out for a throw-in. Nothing much happening.
Fuck off!
Jesus Christ.
Another throw into Swindon further into the attacking half. Hutton looks to launch another one in. But again, I think the players have almost given up on anything actually happening in this game.
So shit. We're so average.
Kane wins the ball back to Hutton. Hutton clips the ball in. Austin receives the ball, turns on the edge of the area to Kane. Kane lines one up, plays it back to Austin, who plays it wide to Hutton. Cycling the ball on the left-hand side, back out to Wakeling, who clips it across. And I think Austin tried to get a toe poke on that, but nothing really doing. Didn't really look as if he'd made good contact. Seeing the replay of that now. No.
Mark, I hope you take this with all the credit it deserves. Gav says, Mark is like the band at the end of Titanic, carrying on with the show going around, with the shit going on around him.
You know, that appears to be full time. I can't really say that it's a point well earned. It's definitely a point. And that's about all I can say.
Well, Mark, thank you very, very much for your commentary duties, dutiful as they were in that second half. Superb effort in trying to make what was one of the most boring games in the history of life sound in any way interesting. I
tell you what, I thought I drew the short straw in the first half, but fucking hell, Mark, I sidestepped a landmine there, I tell you.
You did. There was a massive turd that needed polishing, and I think I managed to keep a little bit of glitter on at the end there. But
you certainly did, mate. Well done.
I'm going to bring Ben in just a second, but Nick, could you confirm the full times for us, please?
Yeah, Newport 1, Wimbledon 1, Northampton 1, Mansfield 0, Stevenage it's just about to finish. They're in 5 minutes of added time. Stevenage 1, Crewe 0, Sutton 0, Grimsby 1. Oh, and Walsall 0, Swindon 0. So all excitement all over the place. Man City 6-0 up, Blackpool 6-1 up. Just picking out a few of the scores there. Peterborough 5-2 up at Burton. Charlton won 4-1 at Morecambe. That's about it. Notts County in the National League won 3-1. So that could get even more interesting on what happens there. So, yeah. And I think Gav was right. I did pick the right game to sit back and listen to all the frustration.
Well, apparently we had 12 shots during that game. 12 shots with 3 on target. I don't recall seeing that many, but, you know.
I think there was a couple that were blocked, but yeah, that was...
But the worst stat was our crossing.
The worst stat was what, sorry?
Our crossing, 3 successful crosses from 20 attempts. That's just shit.
Let's bring our co-commentator in first then. Ben, on the whistle reaction?
Overall, disappointment. I think the urgency they tried to put in the last 10 minutes, they should have done about 20 minutes, last 10 minutes. They should have done about 20 minutes earlier. It's not good enough. I think that is it now. I think we need, another 25 points out of 30 available. I can't see that happening. So we'll just play out the season and see where we finish. Very disappointing. It feels like a defeat.
So many comments coming in, which I'm just flashing up on the screen. But before we do anything else and we speak to the rest of the panel, we're going back live to Walsall as we say hello once again to John. How are you, pal? John, are you there?
That's a good post-match report. Just
pretty much says everything you need to know.
Well done, John. Well done.
Get John back in just a second.
He summed it up well there. He did. That was absolutely spot on.
Jody has a big job on his hands. So fed up of wasting seasons. We are overlaying and have the wrong setup tactically. That's the manager. Is he free to play the way he wants or just blind? We've got Dan here. At least the game summary for this game will be very short and brief. Season summed up perfectly in this game. No urgency, no quality, no ideas. Deserve to be where we are and don't deserve the playoffs. Nigel with regards to John said he's fucked off. Don't blame him. And Nick, Greg says, no fear, everyone. Nick still believes we'll reach the playoffs. But in his defence, he never said what year. Ben saying asleep. And Mish, even Mish, I think I am the female version of Fyfie watching a match. Very poor and sums up our season. Well done all. I had the pleasure of meeting Michelle once, and I can't imagine she swears anywhere near as much as I do. And I was relatively tame tonight compared to what I'm like when I'm actually watching it live. Let's talk to our panel. We've had Ben already. Craig, you were on comm duties in the first half. You were a summariser for us there in the second. I used the word average on more than one occasion. And I'm struggling to think of anything more positive than saying that we are distinctly average.
Well, I like that you called me a summariser there, because there wasn't much really to fucking summarise, was there? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I said it in the first half that we needed to start taking the game by the scruff of the neck and you know, creating some clear-cut chances. But apart from that last 10 minutes, but even then, we just weren't. It was too little too late, and the subs were too little too late. I'm sorry. I still think that Morris is the person to take us forward, but you've got to ask some questions about his sub, you know, not who he brought on, but the timing of them, really. You know, Austin had that one chance right at the end, and Hepburn Murphy had a couple, but it was just not really much there. And you know, we were solid defensively. and fair play to Walsall, they defended well as well. But it's basically two impotent teams. Neither of them could score. It was as simple as that. Well, that's what it was. And
I'm just going to interrupt you very briefly, Craig, because I think we've got John back. So while his connection's there, let's welcome back John. John, are you there? Can you hear us?
Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, we're back in the car already.
Yeah, you clearly weren't hanging about tonight, were you?
No, we had to get out of there. Yeah,
mate. It looked average on the telly. Was it any better in person?
It was very average, wasn't it? You agree? Yeah.
Did you feel we looked like we were going to win it at any point?
I felt like we were the better side. We didn't create many chances, did we? We just couldn't create.
We can hear it in the background.
I thought the changes may have been a bit too late. And
we said that.
They didn't really get going. Hepburn, Murphy, and Austin. I think it was a bit too late for them. But I thought Brewitt had a really good first half. He's well organised. What else can I take from the game? Not much more. I thought he was a bit weak in midfield. Was George McCracken injured? I thought he took a bit of a knock in the first half, and I didn't think he got going again after that. I don't know why we still got him on corners. Waste of time. Hutton was poor, I thought. Lavigne did all right, but obviously he wasn't going to be able to last the whole game. And then Darcy ran about a bit, didn't he? Williams fell over a bit. Normal stuff, really.
I think all of those comments are absolutely fair. You mentioned the substitutes being late. Did you feel that they had the required? Well, obviously that they didn't have the required impact, but did you feel that the changes made sense and did they alter the game at all? Oh, it looks like John might be gone again. We'll give him 30 seconds to see if it comes back in. If not, we'll hand it back over to the panel. John, are you there? Let's just drop John out momentarily while he gets his connection back. Let me come to you then, Nick. You've got the master plan, you've got the formula, you've got the maths all worked out. Tell us, is the playoff still on after that point?
Mathematically, yes. Like we've said all along, it's simple now. We need from the next 3 games, we need 9 points. If we do that, which we should, but the way Swindon are playing at the moment is probably highly unlikely. We've got Rochdale, Stockport, and Hartlepool. Now, to be honest, if we can't get 9 points out of that, we'll deserve to stay where we are. Simple as that. So at the moment, it's still in our hands to try and get what we need. So the next 3 games will be season defining. Drop any points in those 3 games, and it's definitely League 2 next season. It's more than likely going to be League 2 next season because obviously we're not good enough. Like everybody said who's been watching it, we seem to have drifted into an average team when there was at times so much promise, and we thought we were in with a real chance. And I mean, what's probably annoying is some of the teams that are near the top end of the table above us. Barrow, Sutton, Mansfield, below Hot and Cold, Salford. Don't want to see them anywhere near it. And you've got teams like Bradford in there. It's poor. So it don't hold a lot of hope, to be honest. But 9 points, 3 games, and it's all changed. But if that doesn't happen, we can wave goodbye and think about buying a season ticket or not.
Nigel says moved up a place and 6 points from 7th. What's the problem? Ben, Swindon Matt 35 on Twitter, I think sums it up perfectly. He put at Fools Rush In, what a load of shit, and then replied, that was shit, and then replied to his reply, that was shit.
What's he trying to say?
It was extremely average performance today. I think Walsall were there for the taking, but we didn't want it enough. I don't think the players believe that they're good enough. I think now it's just assessing what players Morris wants to stick around. I think we've got some nucleus of a half decent team, but there needs to be some changes this summer. I think we need to ditch this youth policy, ditch our technical director. I think we need to give Morris the reins of who he wants to give in the summer. I think now is the time we start thinking about who we want to bring in, moving on and preparing for the next summer ahead, and try and get a team that's strong enough to push for honours next season, because I fucking can't stand this league. And it depresses me that we've got yet another season in it. Yeah, it's a bit down at the minute.
Well, we'll have a look at some of those areas, because we did get asked earlier and yesterday, and we never covered it, about who is worthy of another run at League Two. Just seeing what's going on Twitter. Paddy's been in touch. That's that then. More League Two football next season. Can see that being said for a good more years yet, comrades. So Paddy is not feeling particularly optimistic. Comments, I've been flashing them up on the screen, but echoing what you guys are saying, players seem to have given up, etc. We've got a comment here on Twitter. It does seem strange when you look at the numbers coming through the gate that we can't compete with those with less support. And Rob saying, well done, lads. Couldn't have been easy trying to commentate on that shit show. We don't have a player who's brave enough to take a game like that by the balls and have a go. What an awful season. Garth, who I think is in the car with John, if I remember correctly, gutted about that result, and the performance flat is an understatement. Starting Jeff Cott was a mistake from Morris. Made the changes way too late too. Garth, we agree. We said about the changes. And we should sign with a similar size up front. Austin needs to stay. But to do that, he needs hope, as we all do. We got Dan here. Surely knowing that games are fast running out, why is there no urgency in Town's play? The urgency is a big issue for me as well. Is it tactics, or just these players aren't good enough? A bit of both, in my opinion. And we will get the word from the guys shortly. Got Ben here. I believe that's supposed to be the spine of the team is missing older players from a higher league. Yeah, we had a centre-back that had that, and we shipped him off to Aberdeen. Nick saying, we get Charlie in the centre, but keep passing it out wide and don't deliver a cross. Very frustrating. Get the ball in the box to score. Hank saying, Sanjo and his spreadsheet has to go. Absolutely clueless. While I remember, before I start handing the questions over to my colleagues here in the panel, we will be back on Friday for our normal weekend preview show, where we are set to be joined by star of Absolute Pod and her Game 2 representative for Rochdale, Shah, who you would have heard us talk about before, as she submitted some of our entertaining, mainly food-based entry questions at the start of episodes. We look forward to welcoming her for her Fool's debut on Friday. Right, where do I want to go? Mark, you've been flicking on and off with the picture. You've had time to compose yourself after what was a pulsating second half of commentary. Where do we start with how average we are at creating, how lackluster we are at attack, or how reasonably good we did look defensively for the most part?
Yeah, I think I'll go with the positives. Firstly, it's a clean sheet away from home, so we'll take that. Yeah, it's a point earned, and if we went back to what Nick said at the very onset of the show, really, we were looking to get 10 points from these 4 games. Well, if we win the next 3, then it's job done, isn't it? So there are the positives. In terms of the negatives, I don't think we looked to create as much as we could have done. We've already said the substitutions could have been much earlier in the second half than when they were. And I don't think enough, for large spells of the game. And, it got a bit scrappy when we needed to be a bit more composed. Other than that, though, yeah, it's a fairly mid performance, unfortunately.
Very average. I appreciate as well, sir, that you need to depart very shortly. So I just want to take a moment to thank you for your efforts this evening, and we will see you again very, very soon. Let's go then to Ben. Let me bring you back in, if I may, as Mark's. I'm not sure if Mark's actually leaving or his connection just dropped there. You said a moment ago in your review that it's time for Jody to start making decisions about next year. We have the nucleus of a good squad. I'm interested in your opinion, very briefly. Obviously, we know the loan players will disappear. Realistically, how many of this squad would you, if you could lose anyone you didn't think and retain anyone you did think, how many of the current squad, based on what you've seen and how average we are playing and how poor the results are, how many of this squad would you genuinely keep and say, we keep them, we definitely go for promotion next year?
Lavigne, Hutton, Clayton, McEachran. I'd actually keep Shade on for another year. I think he's actually improved. I'll need to go through them all by one. I actually would keep Austin, but I wouldn't probably play him every week. I might have him as a coaching role.
No, you can't have with how much he is on. We are not getting his money's worth.
No, you're just saying what would he'd have to be on less, but it's just saying
he's not going to take that. He's going to want to play, isn't he?
I would keep, but that's not the question. So I'd have to sit down and have a look at the squad, but I would keep Hepburn Murphy in as well. I think he can develop into something a little bit better. That is to say that there's a spine there that's actually pretty good. It's just they need some experience. They need some older players. They need players that have got out of this division. It's not a million miles away, but it just needs a little bit of leadership.
It does look a million miles away.
No, it needs a little bit. It doesn't a million miles away. We won't finish a million miles away from the playoffs. We'll finish about 6 or 7 points outside the playoffs.
That is a million miles away.
When it's 130, when it's 138 points to play for, 136 points to play for in a season. To be 6 off isn't that. 2 wins off isn't a million miles away.
Ben, I love you and all, but that's outrageous. That is outrageous.
We've got the nucleus. I would say Lavigne.
We haven't got a nucleus.
Off of this division. I'd say.
Bear in mind, I threw the question at you, so you didn't have time to prepare. You did say there was a spine, but in a spine, you would have a goalkeeper, a centre back, a centre mid, and a striker. You were only able to name 1 defender and 1 midfielder that you would keep.
Right. I'll go through the squad if you want.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying that we do seem you do seem to believe there's a lot more in that squad, but than we're actually able to demonstrate.
Well, because of the age of the squad, majority of this squad are playing. A lot of this squad are playing their first ever season in pro football. They will improve immensely off the back of this season. I would say Clayton has learned so much this season. And twice the player that started the season. Same as Lavigne would have learned so much in the 20-odd games that he's played this season and be so much better for it because he's had that experience of men's football. And you'd say Hutton would be the same. You'd say all these players will be improved the amount of men's football. And they're going to get better season after season after season after season because they're just starting their football journey. They're going to get better with games being played. So
on the same token...
At the end next season than they are this season.
On the same token, do you feel from game 1 of this season to where we are now, those players have improved?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, fine. Craig, again, we're left feeling a bit frustrated and not even just... People can look at it as in isolated and say a point on the road, clean sheet, blah, blah, blah. But it's that same thing we've been talking about for ages now. We're running out of games. It's not what we need. But more than just the result, the performance levels still aren't there. And I appreciate, and when Ben said this to me in the past, that there is a certain thing. You take the first couple of games of Morris's reign, and there have been contributing factors to the results. but he's now been here for a fair few games, and the performance levels of this squad are nowhere near what I expected them to be yet.
Yes, it's hard to argue against that, mate. I mean, today was, we deserved the point. And it sort of goes back to what I said about Saturday when people thought that was a good performance and we deserved the draw. Well, no, we didn't. Today was, the first half was a better performance, but we did deserve a draw today. Saturday we didn't. We weren't good enough to get anything on Saturday, and today we get the draw. And I mean, I want to go back to what Ben was saying. We need wholesale changes. We need. It happens every season anyway. For most League Two clubs, they have wholesale changes. So, I mean, I've got the squad up now. So I would bin Hutton. Baudry's going to retire. Bryn's obviously going back. I'd keep hold of Iandolo because of his versatility mainly. Clayton we're obviously keeping. Baudry's retiring. Tomlinson, no, he's too injury prone, unfortunately. Brewitt, wait and see how he does until the end of the season. He's done all right so far. First couple of games, no problem. Blake Tracy, obviously keep. Reece Devine, if we can get him out of plaster for more than 2 minutes, then maybe. I don't know. Lavinier, keep, because he's got potential. Cian Harris, again, injury, we don't really know about him. In midfield, if we can get hold of McEachran, sign him on. Johnny Williams, he's not worth the wages he's on. We could sign 2 or 3 probably for the wages he's on, and he's declined since he's come back from the World Cup. He was probably one of our best players before the World Cup, but he just hasn't been the same since, which is maybe why he's retired to sort of prolong his career. I don't know. Darcy, I mean, he played really well first half. I thought he was really busy, but then he just faded second half. So
I don't think he ever plays for more than 45 minutes.
And I think over the course of the season, I don't know how long. I think he's only on a 1-year deal. I might be wrong, but I wouldn't be fussed about keeping him, to be honest. Jake Kane, he hasn't done anything for me to.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed by him. Kadji's obviously on loan. He's not going to come to us. Khan, I'd want to keep him.
Liability, though.
Minton, obviously, as well. And then just going through it up to the forward line. I mean, I think Adeloy's going to go anyway. Austin, no. If he's on the wages he's reportedly on, and we've basically almost maximised our bloody wage budget because of him, I just don't think he's worth that. With the return he's given us. So no, I don't want Charlie Austin to carry on next season. As much as I love the guy and what he's done for the club, I just don't think it is worth having someone who's on that amount of money when we've left ourselves short. We've left, well, not just that, but we've left ourselves short in other areas because of it. And we need smarter thinking when it comes to signing players, unfortunately. Wakeling keep. I think Hepburn Murphy deserves another year as well. He's managed to keep himself injury free. Shade was a shade of the player he was on Saturday when he came on, to be fair. And and that's about it. But Nick was saying about the next game's going to be season defining. Well, today was season defining because we were absolutely. We just didn't seem to want it, and I don't understand why. Today was as good a day as ever against a team that's on one of the poorest runs in the league, and also can't score for shit. And yet we still couldn't do anything. Anything to get past them. Win 3 games on the bounce. After today and tomorrow, I tell you what, if we win 3 games on the bounce, I don't know, I'll be absolutely amazed. I think we've got more chance of winning the lottery than of us winning 3 games on the bloody bounce. And the reason I'm feeling I'm obviously quite down and everything, is it's another wasted season. It's another wasted season in this shitty league, and it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided if we'd have, like Woody said yesterday, if we'd have got our business done early in the summer transfer window and in the January transfer window, if we didn't dither around our managerial appointments and got our recruitment in early, we might have had a chance of going up this season. Drop the technical director of football role, get bin Dee McKelly if we can afford to. We probably can't afford to. Put him on garden leave. I don't give a shit. But yeah, bin that. Maybe go back to that model when we're in League One. But at the moment, it's not working for us in League Two. And I also believe, Hank posted earlier about, the club was saying, promotion's the target. I don't think deep down, and of course the club would never openly say this, I don't think that promotion was the target, because I don't think our budget is that big. And money seems to be very, very tight at the club. And I don't think it was ever, the intention was ever to get promotion this season. It was to be given enough of a budget to be competitive. And if we got into the playoffs or promoted, it was a bonus. But with the players that we've got, no. Next season, we need wholesale changes, and we need for Jody Morris and Brand to be allowed to make those decisions.
Nick, I'm going to ask you a question, and then we've got another one of our Fools favourites waiting to join in. They've jumped on the stream. It linked into a comment we've had. Can you recall a season where we've looked so suspect at defending set pieces and have absolutely zero threat from attacking set pieces?
I think that was a problem last season, and even with Wellings, we very rarely scored from a corner, and defensively we haven't been brilliant. But if you can bring up a comment that Nigel put up about 8 comments ago, not that one, the previous one of his.
This one?
And I think that sums it up for me. We have got a lot of same players, and what Ben and Craig were saying, individually, some of the players we got aren't terrible. They're not brilliant. They're should be good enough at League Two level. Collectively, as a team, it hasn't clicked, and that's the problem. And for me, we need, if we're going to do anything next season, and as much as I say what we should be able to do or what is possible, you can virtually write this season off now. And I think we're probably all going to accept that. And like Craig said, if by some minor bloody miracle we do something, well, it will be. We need a proper, experienced goalkeeper. We need a shithouse centre half. And whether we keep Charlie or not, we need a decent, robust centre forward. We need the spine of the team to be Swindon Town signed players. To me, keep having loan keepers with no competition. Because even if we got a backup keeper, if you don't play them, it costs us a lot of money. The way it works, if he plays a certain amount of games, it doesn't cost us any money with loan players. And that's why there's always a problem with loan players. So I know we need to use the loan market, but that should be a minimal. So I say we've got to sort out the spine of the team and build a team around that. And if that's bringing in, youngsters like we've got to learn and produce off of that, that's all well and good. But as lots of people have said lots of times, you cannot have 8 potential selling players. You might be able to in League One. You see, you can't do it in League Two because you've got experienced old heads in there who've seen it, who've done it, who know the dark arts, and they would put us to shame. We're not hard enough. We're not nasty enough. We're not smart enough. So we've got to sort the spine of that team out for next season. The disappointing thing more tonight is, and probably the worry, and we've all said, I mean, again, and I said it a few weeks ago, the club are in a fortunate position. Well, I don't know, fortunate, it's not the right word. The club are in a position that Jody Morris is being given time by the fans. The worry tonight was, it seems, why did he leave it so long to make subs when you guys watching it said it was crying out for it? Probably at half time. Yeah. Why not do it at half time? Chuck them on, and you've got nothing to lose. You know, we had to go and win that bloody game. So that's a bit of a worry. You know, will he get it right? We don't know, is the simple answer. We think he will. We hope he will. So, get this season out of the way, pre-season. And I think a lot of people will wait until pre-season in signings before they put their hand in the pocket and start putting some money into the club. And the likes of Rob Angus and Clem need to understand that and the reason why. One added thing I'll put in there, the Carlisle manager, when I listened to the Low Strangers podcast where they had a Carlisle fan on who does the podcast, he said, is it Simpson, isn't it? Simpson, their manager?
Simpson, yeah.
When he came in, he appointed their, whether he's called director of football, the person who brings players in. And he used to be manager at Carlisle. He's a football man. And Simpson, he didn't say it specifically, but the inference was if Simpson didn't get him, he wouldn't be going there. He's appointed that man because he trusts him to bring the right players in. And this is our problem at the moment. We haven't got the right man in that position to bring the right players in for League Two. So I'll end it on there.
Good point, Nick. Really good point.
I flash up Mark's comment here. Free shows give us away. Gary, welcome to the episode. You've clearly seen at least one thing tonight that's got you so animated that you dropped me a message saying, please can I jump on the post show?
Fyfie, is it 3.5 shows now?
3.5 shows.
I'll take that. I'll take 3.5. I just watching you boys afterwards, and I think I've got to jump on here and have my say because tonight
you have your say.
Tonight was dire. Two mediocre teams serving up a shit show of football, and that's as far as it went for me. Absolute boredom. I almost fell asleep.
We kept you awake, didn't we? That's what it was.
We certainly did, and that's why I jump on. I thought I've got to have a little say.
So, what's your overriding emotion at this point? Is it frustration? Is it annoyance? Is it anger?
I'm dead frustrated, I think. I don't think I'd be angry if it wasn't for Morris being in charge, and we're obviously going to give him a bit of time. I think I would be angry if we had still had Lindsay in charge. I think I would be just losing it completely now. Morris being there now, I give him a bit of chance. I give him a bit of time. I just get frustrated now with the players. Sometimes I watch that tonight and think, just put the ball in the box. Wait clean a couple of times, went down, and he kept trying to play a little pass inside the penalty area. Just square that ball across the box. It's just so frustrating. You got Charlie Austin there screaming for the ball. Give it to him. I've just lost for words. It is just so frustrating tonight. That was a game we had to win. Walsall were poor, absolutely poor. We weren't much better, but you thought we just had to go there and beat them. 1-0 off someone's backside. I don't care.
Ben, let me ask you: do you think we've seen a couple of comments saying that the players have given up? Do you see that with what you've been seeing, or do you think it's just the luck isn't with us and maybe it's had a slight effect on morale?
I just don't think they believe. I don't think they believe deep down that they can turn it around. I don't think they can believe they could win today. I don't think they believe they can put this run together on. I think they say they can and say they've got, their objective is promotion. But whether they deep down think that, I doubt. Walsall were there for the taking today, and we didn't do it.
If they don't believe, is that at least partly the responsibility of Jody to sort that out?
Yeah, partly. Also, mentality of the player itself. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. No, I mean,
of course.
no matter how much he drums it in and training, it's up to the players' mentality and what they are. Maybe that they haven't. Some of the players do. I think some of the players do have the desire, but I question others, and so maybe some know they're not going to be here next season, so have kind of switched off and on the beach, as they say. I don't know, but it's getting to post-mortem time now because the season's wrapping up. Unfortunately, with core of it still to go, which is the biggest disappointment.
It feels different to last season, doesn't it? Because at the end of last season, we had those runner games we had to win. Everyone just was bouncing. Fans
we knew we could do it.
Well, maybe.
Well, I didn't think, because everyone thought the season was done after we lost to Newport, and so I wouldn't say everyone knew we could do it, but there was a feeling that once we had got our winning run going, that we had the players to go on and win the whole thing. But we had players like Jack Payne and Harry McCurdy who, no matter how badly we were playing, we always thought we could get a goal. Unfortunately, we don't have those type of players that, if we put in a performance like we did today, could still muster a goal. We'd love a Jack Payne who would create that little bit of yard space outside the box and score a goal. A Harry McCurdy who would only need one half a chance and he'll nip in and get it. We don't have that, which is a shame. But it's a job for it's a job for us in the summer. Whoever replaces Dee McKelly, because I can't see him staying on, he has to go. And and Morris, and let's hope he's given the tools, because if he's given the tools, I have no doubt he can build a team of his own that can push on. But he needs to be given the tools, so let's hope he is.
Gary, on a similar note, let me ask you. So after Leyton Orient, Rich came on the pod and he said he didn't understand when we levelled things up why we didn't go for the win. After Saturday, a few of us came on the pod and said, don't understand after we levelled things up why we really didn't press for the winner. There was maybe 7 or 8 minutes towards the end where we tried, but again, Walsall, as I think everyone tonight has said, Walsall were there for the taking, and we haven't put down a significant level of pressure on them at any point in that game. Is it because we're not capable, or is it just not in the makeup of this squad to play with that intensity and that desire?
I think it's been our Achilles heel all season. I think all season that you can probably go back to so many games this season from the start. We've not really pushed on to beat teams. We've gone one up. We've sat back on it. Can we score a second? No, we don't like it. We want to. We might get a second. We never push for a third. I just don't think this team's been made to. I think we look to get a goal and then we sit on it and keep the ball. And I don't think we can do it in this league.
And is that part of the issue, Craig? Do you think that we've either we sit back because we don't believe we can do it? I mean, if we're capable of, we've seen, and I know they're isolated, and we can't keep throwing back the same things, but we've seen that we are capable of going at teams and scoring goals.
Yeah, but it's few and far between, isn't it? And as I've said on a previous one, it just papers over the cracks. We have a good win like we did against Mansfield or Northampton or something like that, and then all of a sudden everything's rosy and playoffs are in sight, and we're going up and HMS pissed the league and all that. But the problem is we're just too we're too inconsistent, and we don't create enough chances. That's
my worry.
That's the crux of it, and as Gary said, that has been the case all season. And there has been games where we've gone a goal up and we've just sat back, and if in this league, and I know people are going to say that there's been examples where people, teams in League Two have played the football and got promoted. Crew have done it twice, but they're the exception.
But we don't play the football either.
Well, yeah, there is. But if you look at our possession stats, that suggests that we can play the possession-based game, but it's not enough to get us out of this league. You look
you
at
can argue we did under Wellens.
Yeah, we didn't do it under Wellens, did we? It wasn't. He was more pragmatic. He knew how to mix it up and be direct when we need to, and change things up. Whereas with us, it has to be that way. And you look at the top three. So we got Leyton Orient, Stevenage, Carlisle, Northampton. None. Leyton Orient are kind of possession based as well, but like I said, Richie Wellens is more pragmatic. But those other three teams, two of those three are going to go up this season, and probably another one from the playoffs. So 3 out of the 4 teams aren't going to be possession based stats, and the way we play it is different to Orient. And that's pretty much probably what our model is, Nigel. But we have to go up first in order to do that. It's not gonna work. Not with this team. Not with this recruitment model, and certainly not with the director of football, technical director that we've got. It's just a mess. And like I said, it's a wasted season. And and I just hope that and I want to give Jody Morris more time. He'll be given more time by the fan base. With that I don't doubt for a second. But I just hope that whatever instructions he's got, because we've got the Swindon way of playing, which seems to be this sideway passing all the time, and it's all right.
The Swindon way of playing is boring as shit.
It is. The first 2 thirds of the pitch. I don't understand why our fans say, "Oh yeah, it's really, really good football and all this and everything." I don't give a shit what type of football we play as long as we get out of this league. I don't recall many people looking back at the Lou Macari era and saying that was shit football or anything, because it definitely wasn't the prettiest, was it? You had physical players at the back and up front, and it was more direct. But he got back-to-back promotions with that style of football, and that laid the foundations for one of our greatest sort of periods in the club's history. So I don't care. The football. I'm sorry, the football is shit. It is shit. It is shit. It isn't, just because you're getting 65% possession doesn't mean it's good football or it's enjoyable to watch. I'm sorry. I'm not getting like the Boo Boys did when we were playing against Harrogate, because it worked then. And that was fine, but that was the exception rather than the rule again. And it just we're not good enough at doing it. And unless we have a change of focus in how we play the game, I can see us repeating it again next season. And we're going to end up doing a Carlisle where we spend 9 seasons in this league before we get fucking promoted again.
The biggest travesty.
Sorry, Gary.
Just say the biggest travesty this season will be the Charlie Austin signing. Because we've wasted that. We've massively wasted that opportunity.
Yeah.
Not creating enough chances for him. Haven't used him properly. He's going to probably go at the end of the season. And that was our chance to go up.
Go on, Craig.
And you think about, like I say, about the wages we've spent on him. We've wasted that as well, and that's been to the detriment. That's been to the detriment with other areas of the pitch. And what Garth just put there was spot on. Possession football without the goals.
It's bizarre though, isn't it? That and this isn't the point I was going to make, but just to round that one off, when you consider that, again, not just the money, but the quality of player that we've got in that position. Like all the way up to December, we were saying we needed a striker. A striker changes it. We've got, on paper, in terms of track record, one of the better on-paper strikers. We bring him in and suddenly don't create anything for him. It is a bizarre approach. Completely nonsensical.
But that's kind of been the thing all season, because we did the same with Jeffcott before Austin came along. Jeffcott was highly rated. We were all buzzing about him coming in and everything, but we've wasted him as well. Yeah.
I genuinely don't think he's good enough though.
Based on this, yeah, but I honestly don't think he's been given enough service either.
We don't play to suit him. We're bringing in players bringing in players that won't be effective in the way that whatever our style is, we're not bringing in players that are effective at it.
Which again comes down to recruitment. You know, it begs the question.
Did Plymouth always say that Jeff Gott's not a lone striker?
Yes.
Yeah.
They always kept saying to us, he's not a lone striker. You can't play him alone up front on his own. And what have we done? Stuck him up front on his own.
Yeah.
Woody's just rejoined us. Hello, Woody. Turned in on the way home from training after a great session. You lot are bundles of joy tonight, aren't you? Woody, on that one, I think it was Mike posted earlier that Woody's been out in training in the pissing down rain with a team that can't win and can't score, or whatever it was, his comment was. And yet he still had a better evening than us. So that tells you everything. Nick, let me bring you back in. I completely agree with the points that are being made about Jody. But what I want to ask, as someone myself, I mean by this, who was one of the loudest cheerers when his name was even mentioned of getting the job, if we're already questioning how long he takes to make substitutions, the style of play that in what is now his team, he's been here long enough to implement a style, and the intensity that his players are working at, should we? I agree. He will get time because of who he is and how excited the fans are to have him here. But should he be getting questions asked?
Yeah, questions will always be asked when you're not winning games. I think the problem for Jody is, and certainly Craig's made the point very, very forcibly, the players he's got at his disposal are not good enough. So he can't implement the team play that he would like because he doesn't believe he's got the players to do it. And I think that's the problem. So they aren't his players. He's inherited a bunch of kids and loanees. I think the first thing he said when he came in is they're not fit enough. Well, that tells you a lot. And, you know, how do you get out of League Two? You bust a gut because you're fit. Craig said, what did Lou Macari do? You know, he overran teams in the last 5-10 minutes. The number of ex-players have said how much teams hated playing against them because they knew they were going to get battered. If they weren't ahead by a decent score in those final 10 minutes, they were getting battered because of the fitness and the push and the desire from the side.
And that's a crucial point, isn't it? Because even when Fabrizio was on the other week, and you could say that eras and football's changed, but that he said that he and Paolo learned that what's the eclipse of League Two? The games are won in the last 10 minutes. If you out energize the opposition.
Yeah, and you still got to have decent players that can finish teams off. You can't just have a team of people that can run marathons and run all day long, but you've got to have the balance. And for him to come in and say the players aren't fit enough, and I'm sure he doesn't believe that the players he's got at his disposal are good enough to play the way he wants them to play. So I think that's why fans will give him the time he needs. I think pretty much everybody's written this season off. And as I said earlier, going back over old ground, the close season will determine what happens with the club big time. I think we all believe he can do it. And obviously we all want him to do it. But it's time will tell if he gets his way. And I think if he doesn't, I think he will say, I can't do it. I'll go.
Yeah. I'm enjoying the comedy element in these comments. So I flashed this up. Steve said, would the current side make Messi look shy? To which Hank replied, Haaland, who scored 5 tonight, wouldn't be able to score with our creative play. Garth has dropped off of the live chat and moved over to Twitter. I don't think we lack desire. I think it's quality in the final third and experience we're missing. And Woody there saying you can be the fittest team in the league, but don't matter if you can't kick the thing. Very, very good point. Guys, we have been going for 3.5 hours since we started pre-match. I will run through with you all and let you sort of offer your final thoughts and then I think we will call it quits for the night. Because I don't know about you guys, but I skipped dinner for this, and I am fucking starving, and it wasn't worth it. So, Gary, let me start with you. Final thoughts.
Well, on tonight's basis, not good enough. Is the season over? Mathematically, no. Any other way? Possibly, yes. We got to win, like you say, next 2 or 3 to really put the pressure on the top 6 or 7. Can we do it? Who knows? Playing like tonight, we won't. But let's see what we can do. After that, it's game over, Bill, for the new season.
Nick?
Yeah, enjoyed tonight. I'm glad I didn't watch it. Quite happy doing the scores. Frustrated. I think that's it. Frustration is the main thing.
Ben? You're muted, Ben.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. You feel a bit empty. You know, you're faced with daunting of yet another season in League Two, and you know.
I hear the smoke alarm now. I heard the smoke alarm this time.
The smoke alarm. Oh, with the batteries running down, the smoke alarm in the hallway. They need changing.
Oh, it's yours, is it?
We've been trying to figure that out.
We've been trying to figure out for 24 hours whose smoke alarm was beeping.
Oh, it's the smoke alarm in the hallway. The batteries need changing.
Fear not, everyone. We found out where the beep is coming from. It's Ben's house.
Yeah, it's my house. Sorry. Yeah, it's just a bit empty, really. You know, you're daunted with the facement of another season in Year 2. You know, another load of mediocrity, another load of looking over to the other side of the stand of the art course and seeing another 40 fans there. You know, another season of a really bad team in the League Cup and another bad team set up in the FA Cup. It's just, we've been here Groundhog Day again. Let's just hope we actually back with the club not having any external debt and owning its stadium. Let's hope Clem actually does invest in the team, does invest in Morris, gets rid of the deadwood in the club, and actually builds a team that we can be proud of. There's a chance we could, you know, have a bit of a Wellens bounce, but you know, we need to have a change of philosophy and a change of thinking of how we're going to do this, because as we are, this setup doesn't work, and yeah, we're going to finish short this season. It's really sad.
Craig?
Because I promise.
Sorry. Craig?
I'm glad. I wish you hadn't finished with me, because it's just going to be too bloody depressing.
It's all right, mate. I'll save myself for last for a reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good point. Yeah, I'm calling it now. I'm really reluctant to, but you know, the season's over pretty much. It's over. We're not getting promoted. This team is not good enough. Haven't seen enough from this team to suggest that they're a bunch of winners. You know, you need to be winners. Stevenage, they've got winners in their team. Carlisle have got winners in their team. Leyton Orient obviously have got winners in their team, and unfortunately we haven't. And that's the key to recruitment next season. We need to have winners, good experienced players who can get us out of League Two. But that was just so poor again today, and I hope our fan base realise just how mediocre we really are in this shit league. And now, you know, at Carlisle, people were thinking that we played well, which which wasn't the case. And you know, this has proved that, you know, the odd win here and there, the odd Grimsby, the odd Mansfield, that's not going to get you promoted at the end of the day. Good recruitment with a good manager, that will get us promoted. We've got one of the two. We just need to sort out the second of that.
It was average, as I said. It's rancid, it's poor, it's horrible to watch, it's boring. But while there's hope, while there's a chance, you know, we'll carry on believing. As I said, we'll be back Friday, where we've got Shah making her Fool's debut. Looking forward to that. What we would love, if I can ask just one thing and thank you very much to anyone who's watched for any period of time tonight. We really do appreciate your time, especially for the influx of comments as well. We've very much enjoyed those. if we can, ask just one thing from you. It would be to let us know what you thought of the watch along. We did one. We took the feedback. I don't know about you, Craig. I think this one was much more well structured, but also more enjoyable. Bar the game again. The only thing that seems to let these things down is Swindon Town. But I enjoyed this, and I would very much like to do another one at some point if people want us to. So if you can, DM us, tweet us, Facebook us, message us, however you like. Plenty of you have got my number these days. You can even do that. Craig looks after the Instagram, and I don't know if you can message him on TikTok, but he does that as well. I keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter, text, email, WhatsApp, whatever. If you think this is something that you'd like on another midweek game at some point, we would love to know. Let us know what can be improved other than Ben, change your fucking batteries in that smoke detector.
I keep looking at my bloody smoke alarm out in the hallway.
But please do let us know where we can improve, and tell us, but also please, for our own ego as much as anything, let us know what you do enjoy about it. And if you'd like us to do another one, we'd love to do another one. Well, at least I would. I think Craig would, and Nick seemed to as well. So let us know your thoughts. It wasn't to be our night, unfortunately, but just like on Saturday, where we all enjoyed hospitality, if not the game itself, I've enjoyed spending the evening doing the watch along with you boys, including you, Gary, who jumped on just to have a moan at the end. And I hope we get to do another one very, very soon. But from me and from everyone at Fools Rush In, we will see you on Friday. Thank you for watching along with us. Wishing you all a very, very good night.
Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love.